Yo, make some noise. It's too quiet in here. It's too quiet. Love.
Give
Love.
us
Come on, where we at? Where we at, guys? Where we at? Yeet. Yeet. Where we at? Come on. Fire. Fire. Internet. What does it mean? I don't know. I got the championship, though. Yeet. That's how we start this week. Drunk Jey Uso, you're my new fucking favorite person in the entire world. Let's get this shit started. This is safe for tomorrow because they're Giants classes, but I had to prove a point that Drunk Jey Uso is my new favorite character in fucking professional wrestling. Let's get started. We have a lot to talk about. Dave and Mel, you guys have a lot to argue about. I'm just waiting for them to sit back and relax and watch this happen. Before we even get started, we do have to say rest in peace. Someone has passed away in the last couple hours. That is Steve Mongo McMichael, not only a professional wrestler for WCW, but also a fucking Hall of Fame lineman for the Chicago Bears, the famous 85 Bears. I wasn't a big fan of Mongo back in the day. I didn't think he deserved to be a professional wrestler, but he did what he did, and he was cool, and he was a full horseman, and I sure as hell wasn't. You guys got anything to say about Steve Mongo McMichael? No, you don't care. No one cares about poor Mongo?
No, I know the previous Just Too Sweet poor Mongo has been kind of dismantled here, but I've always had respect for him. You know, he was entertaining, maybe not sometimes in a good way, but still entertaining nonetheless.
Well, he wasn't a Hall of Famer to me, like in any way possible, but other than that, you know.
Well, neither was Disco Inferno, and, he was still entertaining to watch.
Yeah, don't get me started with that guy.
Or our other compadres, was it Alex Riley? Not Alex Riley. Oh my God, who's the other guy that Mr. Zant likes?
Alex Riley, the dancer.
Oh, it is Alex Riley. Yeah, the dancer. I'm trying to figure it out. Wait, Alex Riley?
Listen, we don't speak ill will of Alex Riley on this show. I will get the music on. We will take a 10-second dance break.
Until AZ comes back, we can say whatever we want about Alex Riley. Maybe that brings it back quicker.
I'll make sure I tell him that. And he said that next time I get a pigeon carrier letter from him, from wherever part of the fucking world he's in at the moment.
This is the second time he's being called out, because he was called out on the previous show last week.
He was
on Unsportsmanlike. The boss went in on him. He shot from the hip.
Well, the boss has a business to run, and one of his assets has gone amok, a run, on a walkabout, whatever you want to call it. I understand.
Walkabout.
He's on a walkabout to try to find the man inside, the boy inside, the whatever you want to call it.
Trying to find his smile again.
Yeet, fire, internet. I don't know. It's great.
You didn't say Oos 38 times, so I don't know if I bought the Drunk Jey Uso.
No, my whole favorite thing was, how do you feel about being the champion? Fire, internet. I don't know. That's what does that even mean? That was my favorite little part of that whole speech. He made no sense. I mean, as soon as he was out there, I was like, dude is drunk, and I love it, and I love it, and I love it.
Every time he wins a belt for the first time, he gets trashed. Everyone remember that infamous him and Cody interview after they won the tag titles?
But that wasn't his first time winning the tag titles. That's the crazy thing.
Oh, you're right. It wasn't. Duh. He'd won them like a bunch of times before. I didn't even think about that. Oh my God, I'm an idiot.
It's just more recently. Since they started doing press conferences, now I know what they do as soon as they win a title or something.
I guess it was the first time he won without his brother.
Do you guys see the show on on online anywhere?
Give me 1 second.
I am not seeing it, and I want to share it out before we get started. Oh, there's 2 people watching at least, so we know we're on somewhere. Who we got?
We got Gil over on YouTube.
Oh, there we
I
go.
do not see it.
Both of these are on YouTube right now.
Yeah, I do not see anything on the PCP page.
What up?
For Facebook, excuse me. Should have been more specific.
For the YouTube fans out there, today, 20 years ago, the first YouTube video was uploaded.
Nice.
How long ago?
20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
what was that video?
Gil's saying he's not seeing it on Facebook.
I got it open in the other window. I'm also not seeing it.
All right, so let's bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go to...
Because the boss is busy posting Nick's propaganda on the page.
All right.
They're not even playing
YouTube. I'm going to
So
share
it must be Mets propaganda.
I guess Jalen Brunson won some made up award.
That's going to be a fine for you.
Wait, is this a real award?
What?
The Clutch Player of the Year? That's a real award?
Yeah, it is now this year.
What? I'll save it for tomorrow. We have other things to tend to today.
No, tomorrow's all about one thing. I don't want to hear no basketball talk.
That's right. Will Levis. 4 straight hours of Will Levis talk.
You can't go wrong. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, he should be finding a new home soon. So
all right. It's on let's see. Okay, it's there. All right, it's on the Just Too Sweet page. And
still don't see it on the PCP page.
Is he blocking us? Is he cock blocking us? What's going on?
The boss has decided it's not making it on there.
Oh, this is horse shit.
I am not seeing it on the Just Too Sweet page.
I just put it on there. What is going on today, people?
Let us find.
In the meantime, how we want to run this down? We're going to start with Mania and then work our way to now, or?
Well, let's you know what? There's something very simple we can start with while I'm trying to fucking post this thing. Let's talk about the Hall of Fame real quick because it's really brief, and the only person we want to talk about is probably Triple H's speech because the rest of us, of course, is nonsense.
Whoa!
So what you guys think of Triple H's speech? And was there anything? Oh yeah, of course, Grumpy Brett, not liking Triple H, and not going to like anybody.
He really doesn't. I love how when they're all doing like the saluting of the cheers of the beer, McAfee gets him on Brett, and McAfee seems so scared. The only time I see McAfee kind of scared, he's like, I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry that he got some beer on him.
I'm so sorry, Brett. Fuck are you?
He probably was like, oh, now I'm on Brett's shit list too, along with Goldberg.
next week, you're going to see an interview of Red Hawk going, Pat McAfee ruined my favorite jacket. My favorite jacket is not ruined. It has beer on it. He's just a scumbag. He's just a son of a bitch. he's just a piece of garbage. That's what's going to be next week. And poor Pat McAfee's going to cry. All right, so it's on here. I don't know why you guys
also gotta, I guess, chime in on McAfee a little bit too, but I guess we'll get there. Question, because I didn't see SmackDown. Who won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal that somehow is now a SmackDown event?
I don't even know, to be honest with you. I missed it too.
Who did?
Not having
oh my god! I watched the damn thing
because I know that the whole thing was like people thought Karrion Kross should have won, but he didn't.
He was like the 5th one left, I think, or the 6th one left. He made it like all the way to the end, but didn't win it. Carmelo Hayes won. He eliminated Andrade.
Okay, I don't hate that if they're gonna go somewhere with Melo.
The last, so I guess we could recap past winners. There's been several guys on here that have gotten pushed and some that haven't. So Carmelo Hayes won. Bronson Reed won last year, and it did seem like pre his injury he was probably going to be a bigger part of some storylines.
Yeah.
Be interesting actually when he comes back. Supposedly he's getting close to a return. Supposedly
after snapping that ankle.
Yeah, it was bad. Bobby Lashley won, and then was released a year later.
And now he's a superstar in AEW. So okay.
Now 300 people a week get to see him perform. Madcap Moss won in 2022. Jey Uso wins in 2021. Braun Strowman won in 2019. There was not one in 2020. Matt Hardy, it was the winner in 2018.
I remember that one. That was at Wrestlemania 34.
Yes. Mojo Rawley.
Mojo,
excuse me.
Mojo. Look at the Miami coming out of you.
You sent that video and you got me pronouncing everything the way they're supposed to be pronounced now. Baron Corbin in 2016, a Big Show in 2015, and then the inaugural was Cesaro. Not the inaugural, but the one in 2014.
Yes. Also, killing it in AEW.
I will not argue with you on that one.
Hopefully you guys see it now and you can share it out too, because I'm going to make sure we're getting out to people. But yeah, GC the Film Fan, thank you for joining in. Yeah,
that's good.
What a great weekend for wrestling it was. It was so good. I'm seeing on Facebook, hey man, Lex Luger standing up was a sweet moment. It was, but he murdered Elizabeth, so I don't care. And yeah, Carmelo Hayes, you're right. So I know he didn't directly kill her, but even he admits he was responsible for her death. So don't jump on my back. So all right, well, let's start night one. Night one, match one. We get Gunther defending against Jey Uso, and I'll let you guys start the pounding because I'm just gonna say I hate him even more now. Jey Uso. I hate him. I hate him. I don't think he deserves this. I don't think he deserves this shot. I am a no yeeter. I will be a no yeeter forever. The only part I only like him when he's drunk. I only like that's gonna be my new T-shirt. I only like you when you're drunk. So you guys go shoot your opinions. No. Well, I'll probably tell you what the problem was. First of all, what do you think of the match? We'll give it a and do stars numbers 4 to 5. What do you want to do? 5 stars, 4 stars. We'll so this way Meltzer can have something to whack off to when he watches our show. We'll do stars. So first, give me your stars on the match, and what do you think of it first? Whoever wants to go first.
I'll be kind of on the fence here. I'll give it a 3 out of 5, based off not the actual match, but I guess the moment of him actually winning and how he won. I was not expecting him to win by choking out and tapping out Gunther. As for the match-wise, I thought it left a lot on the table. I felt after Jimmy got beat the hell out of, that Jey was going to come out and make Gunther, I guess, not tap, but just like bust him open or just be a lot more physical, and it didn't feel that way. Jey did have a couple more movesets than he normally does, more than just the super kick, so that was nice to see. But besides that, I felt like it left more, like I wanted more.
Yeah, I have to agree with Mello. 3 stars sounds about right. I was going to say that the most disappointing part about that is that because of the ending, I actually didn't think the match itself was terrible. It was probably one of Uso's best singles matches, honestly. Although I will reluctantly, well, I say that, but you have to remember who he's in the ring with there. Gunther is a phenomenal talent all around. So I think that has something to do with it. But yeah, I mean, the match was 16 and a half minutes. It felt shorter than that watching it. It was nice because you like Dave said, we did get to see some extra stuff from Jey, but the ending was so. I think if with the feud, like Miller was just saying, with the feud going the way it was, I think that has to be a Gunther passes out situation. Yeah. I know everyone's like, oh, but Dragunov made him tap in NXT once upon a time. I'm like, okay, like what the fuck does that have to do with the cost of eggs in China? Like, what are we talking about? Who cares? Talking about right now.
Apples and oranges.
Yeah, like that's totally different. Like totally different. And that match was fucking brutal. Yeah, 3 sounds right. Because like I said, I didn't think the in-ring stuff was bad compared to what we've normally seen in singles competition from Jey. The ending was very disappointing though. And it still wasn't going to be like a higher tier than that. So,
yeah, I'm going to give it maybe a 2.5. I enjoyed it to a certain point. I love the fact that I can count only 6 super kicks on one hand. That's always good. We can only count them on one hand instead of going double digits. So that's good. I hated the ending of this match so much. And the fact that it was the first match too, I threw my head back and went, oh no. I was like, no. Please don't let this be a continuing trend. I do not like the fact that he tapped out quickly the way he did, and he tapped out to a goddamn sleeper hold. A sleeper hold. Oh my God, it's so sunken. I'm sorry, that's JR. I can't do McAfee or Cole. But yeah, he oh my God, it's so sunken.
2 minutes.
It was not sunken. It was not sunk in very, very deeply. It didn't look painful at all. And he ends up tapping out. I hated it. That's probably what ruined the match for me. Otherwise, I might even give it a 3.5, something like that. I thought it was pretty decent. Definitely, I think Jay's best singles match so far. He also he needs to work because he looks very winded out there. He's not used to wrestling singles matches. He's used to wrestling, spending half the time in the ring, not full time. So here we go with the boss for fucking Gunther hate.
Not only that, but I mean, imagine taking one of those Gunther chops. That's going to take the wind out of you. You're not used to taking those bad boys. One, let alone two, is going to definitely take the wind out of you.
That's absolutely true.
But I agree with you. I think you should have passed him out. Like it wouldn't have hurt Gunther at all. And I heard someone say like, "Oh, it was good he didn't pass out because that's not who Gunther is." And I'm like, what?
So either pass out.
That's a strong finish. Like, oh, you weren't going to give up.
Yeah.
But he just gave up.
It's either pass out or pick another move. Pick an arm. Pick a leg. Pick a sleeper that actually hurts, like the fucking killer crossface. What Daniel Bryan used to do and all that shit. Make that shit look like it hurt. It didn't look like it hurt. It looked like he was taking a nap.
Face.
Yeah, the killer crossface. What do you want to call it? I don't care what you call it.
Crippler cross.
Whatever.
Is it crippler cross? Right face.
Whatever it was called. I don't know. They killed his kid with it. It's a real move. It's gonna hurt. Well, I'm just saying, it's true. It works.
Well, I agree with you on that one because look, when Roman has had his several finishes, like his like rear naked choke is one that he like jumps on the guy and he can't move. Like this was just like, I don't know. It just seemed kind of like sudden.
That's my only problem with it. That's my only problem is the way they finished it. He was afraid to take a nap. No, I want to take a nap. Let me tap out before I go to sleep. Nah, dude, that shit should have been a neck breaker, an ankle breaker, a toe breaker, anything other than what it was, and I would have been okay with it, even though I am not a big Jey Uso fan. And come on, let's be honest, he's a transitional champion. We all know who's getting that belt now. Now that we've seen what happened over the weekend,
I don't know.
You don't think Seth Rollins is winning that belt anytime soon?
We're getting ahead of ourselves here.
I don't think we're getting ahead at all. I think it's obvious he's a transitional champion. There's no way this dude's going to be the face of the company for the next year. We'll be lucky.
Guess we'll see.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? I said change the move. Ankle, knee. Change the choke a little bit. It just looked like a normal run-of-the-mill sleeper hole. He's like, oh, no, I'm not going to bed yet. I better tap out. I don't want to go to sleep. It's like, make it look painful. It didn't look painful even. That's what bugged me about it the most, I think.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
We do what we have to do to survive in this one.
All right. So what do we got after Jey Uso and Gunther?
What was that?
The New Day and the War Raiders.
Okay. Who wants to go first? Anything want to go first, Dan?
2.5 stars. He's not very happy with the match, which is a shame because I was singing praises for the War Raiders in-ring work. Definitely, probably the match that garnered the least reaction from the crowd.
Crickets.
Possibly of both nights. Yeah, probably of both nights, honestly.
The War Raiders got crickets.
They did. And it's disappointing because they're great workers, but yeah, it was bad. I don't have anything else to add to that. I don't think we have to spend a lot of time on that one.
Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll give this one a 1.5. Match was okay. I didn't mind the finish. I thought that's good for how the New Day's supposed to win. They're not supposed to win clean. But yeah, another match that I was like, yeah, seemed kind of like messy at times too.
Yeah, and so the War Raiders, you got to stop with this Viking bullshit. I know they came out with their costumes supposed to be what, Minecraft or some shit or some kind of game they were dressed as, but look, these gimmicks don't get over anymore. They look 10 times better when they just wear like the leather vests and like, you know,
make them bikers. It's that simple.
Yeah, whatever. Just make them come out. They can still be the same guys. Just stop with the Viking crap. That was a Vince thing. Enough. That's not.
It feels like a Vince gimmick when you see it too.
Yeah, that shit don't pay off in nowadays, and I think it hurts them. It does, even in the ring. They're screaming and yelling, trying to get the crowd going. War. The crowd's saying like, "Dude, shut up."
GC, the film fan, pointed out something interesting though. Why include that match at Mania instead of the Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, and what was DIY and DIY in a TLC match? That would have been perfect for Mania.
Yeah,
way perfect. It would have been way better.
Instead, that'll be on Friday night.
Woo!
They all have their reasons.
All 3 hours of SmackDown.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I didn't need to see the Warriors on my WrestleMania TV.
I wonder if that was like their way of, like, hey, you guys did a okay job of carrying the tag belts for a minimal amount of time. Well, as a pat on the back, here's a Mania spot that no one's gonna watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and now it's got to be like a New Day thing, I think, more than the War Raiders.
That's true too, because people do, obviously, especially them being big heels now, they do garner a lot of attention.
And but I think
the match was still a snooze, though.
No, it was. I think they mentioned that up until this past WrestleMania, the New Day as a tag team was like 0-5.
Oh, at Mania?
Yeah, as a tag team.
Wow.
So this was like their first win, because you have like Kofi obviously winning his matches before. I'm pretty sure like Big E on his own, but as a tag team, New Day, this is their first win.
Really? After all the famous entrances with the fucking cereal box, they never won?
Yeah, that one was one that they lost.
Wow. Shocking.
And I remember, I think it was 34. They lost to Harper and Rowan when they were the Bludgeon Brothers, to only win it back like the next week, which is something that I hate that WWE still does.
Like the women's tag titles?
We will get there.
Yep. Oh shit! I closed it.
I think that. Oh, we'll get there. Go ahead. All right. So what was next?
The next match was. Sorry, I accidentally closed the window. I got it back up though.
I think it was Jade and
Naomi.
And Naomi.
That is correct.
I'll give it a 2. Nothing exciting, nothing entertaining. It was run of the mill. Who cares? This would have been a good spot for that tag match, like you said, from SmackDown.
Yeah, I'll give it a 2.5. I didn't think the match was terrible. With all the buildup they had for the feud, though, the match felt like it left something to be desired. I did think it was probably some of Jade's best in-ring work since coming over, so I guess that's a plus. But yeah, it was kind of lackluster.
I'm with Ann on that one. I think I'd give it a 2. It's probably Jade's best work singles wise, or actually overall wise, because she's very great. But yeah, I wanted more kind of like from the Jay and Gunther match. I kind of wanted like more like violence, if that makes any sense. This girl supposedly put you through like a windshield. Like, where was like the real beat down that I wanted?
Yeah, this chick hit you with a car.
Yeah,
you're gonna want to hurt her a little bit, not do some fancy cartwheels and kip ups.
Which, I mean, she's still impressive to look at.
We're gonna do next time. We're gonna watch a pay per view, a big one. We're gonna do a shot every time someone does a kip up. We'll be hammered.
We'll make it to the main event.
Like, who's this? Oh no, they all did was kip ups and super kicks. We're dead.
Kip up, super kicks, and no selling. We'll definitely not make it past like match 3.
Who are? I know Dave's dying to get to it, so let's keep moving on.
4th match of the night. night 1, Jacob Fatu defeats LA Knights for the.
Thank you.
Speaking of no selling,
thank you, wrestling god. Thank you.
That felt. I know the match was actually longer than the prior 2 matches. It kind of feel like a squash match though.
I said it was good. I said it should have been.
It kind of felt like it. I mean, I know the match ended up being longer than I thought it was because I saw that they have the times here with the matches and it says 10 minutes 40 seconds. I'm shocked.
A lot shorter than that.
That's what I said. I'm like, damn, that match felt like it was like 3 minutes long. So
yeah, and Jacob had 7 minutes of offense, and that was it.
That's what I'm saying. It just felt like a squash. It really did.
Well, when you no-sell every other move, what can you expect?
But isn't that what his character's supposed to do?
Is his character just the Terminator?
But yeah, but you know, at that point, you're crazy. Sometimes you get that no-sell, that juice in you. Some of those guys got to do that.
I still think it's wrong to talk about him no-selling. The man has still lost more than half of his matches.
Yes, but how many matches of those are like tag team matches or triple threat matches where he's not the one getting pinned?
Yeah, but he's not no-selling on his own. It's his character who does that. everyone, if that's the case, everyone no-sells.
Yeah, you're right, because Gunther took 3 Jey Uso big splashes and was
getting right back up to the third one. I was
like, what is going on here?
That's why Jay had to put him to sleep.
Sleep in the worst sleeper hold ever.
I give the match 2 stars, and I feel I'm being generous. And only reason I'm giving it 2 stars is because Jacob Fatu is incredible in the ring. He soloed those 2 stars.
Well, you know, LA had that one big move.
Yeah, when he lost, that was just one big move.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fell for it when the hype train started rolling with him. And the more I've watched him, I'm like, I don't want to watch him anymore. I feel bad.
Yeah,
he is. I mean, how do you not see the blatant Austin Rock ripoff? It's just so blatant. It's not even funny.
It's rough. Yeah, the BFT was cool. I'll give you that. That was pretty neat. But I've lost so much interest in him over the last calendar year. It's been
I don't think he should have beat Shinsuke either.
I do agree with that.
No. God no. He should have lost a long time.
He was another one that made it. He was another one that made it pretty deep into the Andre Giant Battle Royal. I want to say the last 6 was like Cross, Ray Phoenix, Shinsuke. Fuck, I'm not gonna remember the rest.
Carmelo Hayes, since he won.
Carmelo Hayes, obviously he won. Who were the other 2? Andrade, and then there was one more. But I actually really liked the group that they narrowed it down to because everyone was really actually working pretty well in the ring. It wasn't terrible. Like the beginning of the match was kind of sloppy because you just had a bunch of people trying to get their spots in, and then they would get their spot in and then immediately get tossed out of the ring. I was like, oh, okay, cool. This is great. But once it started whittling down, it actually got pretty interesting. So,
yeah,
2 stars. Miller, how many stars did you give it?
I'm going to give this one 2 stars. I do agree. Jacob definitely carried a lot this match. And even the end was cool to see, one, he got his first title, his first solo title in WWE. But then you had Haku come out at the end. Thought that was a little good nod there. So I was happy with the result.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I give it 2. There wasn't much depth in this match. This was I even said it. This should be a squash. I thought it should have been. What they're going to do with him, I have no idea because this is the famous. He's getting cheered too much to be a heel. He's getting cheered too much, and Vince has made some major mistakes back in the day just by that logic. Bobby Roode, and you can't do that again. You can't ruin the guy. You got to let the guy be what he is.
But Triple H just kind of touched on that though. Triple H just touched on that though. That in today's world, with all the extra factors that are associated with it, like the days of a true face and a true heel are really dead. Like you can't do it like that anymore. Just there's too many other factors into it. And I kind of agree with what he's saying. I know you still try and play the storylines as a face and a heel, but I don't think you have to lean into them as hard. And it seems to work most of the time, not all the time.
We'll talk about that too when we get to the Cena match, because that's a major problem right now, I think, as far as that storyline's going. But all right, we
have a lot to talk about on that one.
I mean,
we get one last thing I want to touch on with the Jacob Fatu thing. Obviously, this is his first solo title in WWE. Has anyone seen the interviews with him since Mania talking about this?
No.
You see him in the ring and you see the personality he puts on screen, and you would think he's like this like vicious guy. Like, but then you see like some of these videos of him talking, and like, yeah, he talks with a little bit of slang in his voice, but like you could tell that this like is really meaningful to him, like what he's doing and stuff like that. It's just really cool to see. Just if you get a chance, check it out.
Well, I saw a video where he was meeting Boogeyman, and I guess Boogeyman did like a video for him, and he was like geeking out like a little kid.
Yeah. He so yeah, I just think it's really cool to see, and he's been so phenomenal in the ring. So all right, moving on. Match 5. El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix.
I still say we should be suing.
Do you need to talk to the boss? I'm not sure why the cease and desist hasn't been delivered yet.
Seriously.
I have it on good authority that El Blanco Grande might make a return very soon because he's not happy. He's not happy with this.
I wouldn't be either. Someone else is out there capitalizing, winning WrestleMania matches, actually getting booked.
I heard he'd even be here right now if he didn't just move and have all his stuff packed away in places where he don't know where the shit is anymore. So we'll see. I'll go first on this one. And again, I told my son, I texted him, and I told my girl who was here, she was watching me. I said, now, if you were going to break down which match will probably be the best wrestling match, this is the one that you're going to have to watch and pay attention to, because I said Chad Gable is probably the best wrestler on the roster right now, going against, again, another great wrestler.
Chad Gable wasn't in the match, though.
Huh?
Chad Gable wasn't in the match, though.
You meant El Grande Americano.
I'm sorry, you're right. I'm sorry. You know what I meant. I get them confused sometimes. They have such similar body shape.
It's the colors of the outfits. They're so similar. It just throws you off.
I'm sorry. I apologize to everybody. That was stupid of you. It was very unprofessional. I will punish myself later. I promise. Yeah. So I told him, I said, this is the match you're going to want to watch. And so, and it was enjoyable, very enjoyable. I don't understand why they can't get this guy going. I don't.
El Grande?
Yeah.
It feels like it's picking up steam.
I hope so. I think he deserves way more than he's gotten, getting stuck with a fat guy and then probably the ugliest woman on the roster, and then
whoa.
Who are you referring to?
She's not good to look at. She looks like faced.
Who are you referring to?
Maxine Dupree.
Oh, I can't co-sign that one. I can't co-sign that one.
She's Fugazi. She's Fugazi.
I can't co-sign that.
You stripped that makeup off, she's Fugazi.
I thought you were talking about.
You could say that about a lot of people.
Who?
That one. That's what I thought.
I don't know what that is. I say she's Fugazi.
No way.
She hang out with Charlotte back in the horse section, for all I care. But anyway, I think he deserves a lot more. I'll give this one like a solid 3.5. And we picked it on our show. We said the right thing. There's no way what's his name should have won.
At that time it was still Ray.
Yeah. At that time.
Which honestly, when they had made the switch, I was like, oh man, we're screwed. They're not gonna have Rey Fenix lose his first WrestleMania match. But they did, and I was happy about it because I feel like El Grande Americano deserves it a little bit more. It's been a long time coming. And I think, I would give it a 3.5 is good for me. I think they put on a good show.
Yeah, I like 3.5. 3.5 was good. Again,
the entrance was great too. Like the little vignette before he comes out, and then his actual entrance with like the mariachis. I thought that was fantastic.
Listen, playing Yankee Doodle Dandy on mariachi is fucking brilliant. It is brilliant. I don't care what anybody says. It is absolutely brilliant.
I'm gonna blow your guys' minds real quick. Would you believe that match was almost 3 full minutes shorter than the Jacob Fatu LA Knight match?
But that match just had
it was shorter.
But that match had no.
That was the shortest match of the night.
It had
7
no
minutes
stops,
and
though. That's
55
why.
seconds.
It's just straight up, lucha, just going back and forth, going.
It was really good.
There wasn't too many, posing and poetry and gymnastics going on. It was a good freaking match.
I agree completely. And both wrestlers got to show off their talents in the ring. The right wrestler won, El Grande, taking the world by storm right now.
He's the first wrestler from the Gulf of America. He's doing what he got to do.
He's doing it his way. That's what matters.
3.5 stars feels right. I almost wanted to give it 4 because it was extremely enjoyable. I literally did a double take when I saw the time on that match. I'm like, there's no fucking way that match was that short. It felt so much longer than that. But it was a good match. Maybe that's why. You get invested into it. You're watching every little detail of it. And those are two guys that can do it. So
gracias.
Word.
And apparently we got some breaking news here. So it's GC's over here saying that El Grande Blanco, legend says he moved to New Jersey.
Rumors, unconfirmed rumors at this point in time.
Yeah, sources
say.
You don't know what that guy does. He's a mystery wrapped in a riddle.
Surrounded by an enigma.
Exactly.
All right, so moving on to the next match of the night. This is one I think will be interesting to talk about. Tiffany Stratton retains versus Charlotte Flair. This is the only match of the weekend I got wrong. Yeah. No. Well, the ones I got wrong were the ones where we didn't know who was fighting. So like the Randy Orton, Joe Hendry match for night 2, and then the Lyra Valkyrie and what ended up being Becky Lynch.
Bullshit.
So I'm interested. I'll start with this one. This match was stiff, like really stiff. By both wrestlers too. It felt like neither one of them could get going. They weren't on the same page. It felt like a lot of stuff got slipped in there that shouldn't have got through but did. I don't think the match was very good. It was nice to see the physicality of it, especially for a young wrestler like Tiffany Stratton, but like the match itself I don't think was good if from a wrestling standpoint. Like I said, very stiff. The moves weren't clean. It was rough. It was a rough match. I'm giving that like 1.5, 2 stars. 2 stars.
Dave, go ahead.
I'm good on the I'll say 1.75. I'm there with you. I feel like Charlotte normally puts on a good match, but I don't know if it was just maybe the animosity was just too much for the two girls. It was Tiffany's first WrestleMania match. Who knows if that played a factor into it. But yeah, it felt also very clunky. And I do want to know what happened to her teeth, because it did look at one point like they were chipped, but then they weren't. They got someone in the back there that's just there for that.
She posted on social media, said she didn't lose any teeth.
I think the blood just caked on so thick that it looked like she lost her teeth.
That's what I was thinking too. She had busted her lip open.
She came out and they looked like she got hit by a truck.
Yeah. She looked rough.
She looked very rough.
I did like her entrance. Very unique.
One more thing I'll add before Tim goes. I actually thought that a lot of the animosity between them was being fabricated until I watched that match. I'm like, oh no, they really hate each other. Okay.
I think the worst thing that happened to Tiffany Stratton was fucking Charlotte Flair coming back, because we talked about it last week. One, she's not a face. She's not. She's a natural born heel. She has to reach a certain level before she can turn face. I don't care how much people love her. She's better as a bitchy face, a heel. I mean, and two, yeah, going toe to toe with Charlotte as far as she can be. Charlotte has no personality to go toe to toe with anybody on social media, so she was going to lose. So Charlotte had to dig deep and say, "Oh, your boyfriend's sliding into my DMs." And again, we talked about that last week too. Nobody believes that's even true. No one's going to stand Tiffany next to Charlotte and go, "You ain't DMing her." There's no way that's happening. We don't believe you. It's like Ron Burgundy. I don't believe you. And just keep walking on to the next subject.
I don't believe you.
That's how silly that is. But Tiffany looked terrible. Charlotte looked terrible, which is, I guess, is a good thing as far as we don't like Charlotte. Yeah, I'll give it like a 1 and say hopefully this is the end of this feud. They move on and please never fight again. At least in a year, maybe when everyone grows up.
So moving on, last match of the night.
Last match of the night.
The
Melo's
triple threat.
favorite.
Seth Rollins versus CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins winning the match with a somewhat predictable heel turn that we all, I think, talked about from the pre-show. Tim, start us off.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it in the sense that you had to do it this way. There was nowhere else to go with Roman. There was nowhere else to go with Punk as far as Paul Heyman goes. We'll see what kind of factions being formed here. I think we'll talk about that too. That I think it's very interesting. That was on Raw. We'll get back to that also. Overall, I thought the match was really good. Of course, I know, Dave, you're going to be happy when I say this, but I think this was probably Punk's best match that he's had. But he is definitely the last and how I want to put it, the worst of the bunch. but I do think this is probably his best match since he's been back. And I don't mean back WWE. I mean back AEW also.
Yeah,
I think his only problem right now is stamina. He can't hang with these dudes right now. He can't. And I think Roman looked fantastic. First of all, Roman, whole new definition of fucking jacked. That dude. Again, I say this as a completely straight male. That dude's body is ridiculous. He looks insanely fit and insanely good.
Like a hash brown.
Yeah, man. And I thought he looked fantastic too. Put on a great match. And look, Seth is Seth. I know we have a problem with Seth because he wins way too much.
Who has a problem with Seth?
We don't want to see him
win. Who has a problem with Seth?
Huh?
Who has a problem with Seth?
Well, me and Dave.
You don't like Seth?
Me and Dave had a problem with Seth because he kept, beating way too many.
He should have dropped the belt. He wasn't dropping it.
What are you talking about? The heavyweight belt?
Yeah.
Who was he going to drop it to?
We feel he should have dropped it a few times, actually.
Huh?
He should have dropped it to Shinsuke.
That's your whole list? You got all matches in one match?
For like 3 months, he fought Shinsuke. And Shinsuke didn't beat him once. And he kept hurting him more and more. That's back was completely out, and somehow he still beats him.
He had no back, he had no legs. He was crippled. Somehow he keeps beating the perfectly healthy martial art master Shinsuke Nakamura, the king of freestyle. So, I really like the whole ending. I love the everyone hit their move thing, and then my girl was laughing at me because I said, "Here it comes." She was, "Here comes what?" I was like, "Here comes the finish." She said, "How do you know?" I said, "I've been watching for 40 years." So I said, he grabbed the chair. I said, he's going to give it to Punk. How do you know? I've been watching wrestling 40 years. She slides it to him. I go, she gets in there. I go, watch this nut shot from behind. How do you know? I go, I've been watching wrestling 40 years. And then again, then he gets to try
that good, but
yeah. And then again, same thing. Roman, I watch nut shot from behind. How do you know that? I've been watching wrestling 40 years. It's going to happen. Watch this. Boom, hits him. She goes, I don't understand. I'm like, this is what we do. This is why we do what we do. We know.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great ending. I really, really did enjoy this match. This probably saved the entire night as far as overall. Like I said, Punk, this is his best match, I think. He's still a little slower than everybody else. Actually, he's a lot slower than everybody else, but I still think he put on a good show. I will give this one a solid 3.5.
Mel, you want to go next? You want me to go?
I'll go. Timmy, very valid. All good points. I do not disagree with any of them. I'm going to give this match 4 stars.
Ooh, I'm shocked.
I'll give it 4 stars. And to point off to something you said, I know you were talking about how good Roman looks physically, but I think this is probably the best I've seen Roman's in-ring work.
Yeah.
Like he's actually like I was watching, I was like, damn, like just thinking back to like what 6-7 years ago, like Roman Reigns couldn't work to save his life. But now I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just working with Seth and Punk. Like in that match, they made him look good or they talked over things, but he looked great to me inside there. And I found out what the O in OTC stands for. It stands for Ozempic because that's the only thing that makes sense for me. But no, yeah, I think this was fantastic. The finish was great. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see where that goes.
I am going to agree with Melo on the 4 stars.
Nice.
I think one of the greatest signs of a great wrestler is when you put someone like Roman and Seth in there with Punk, who, as you said, is a little slower than them. He cannot athletically do what those two can do. Be it age, be it shape, be it whatever it is, he physically is not able to do some of the things that those guys can do. And yet, those guys, with how they work in the ring, made it look like it was a pretty level playing field on all parts, that's the sign of that. Hey, y'all are doing your job right there. Phenomenal stuff. I got really worried early in this match when you had Seth and Punk go through the crowd and Roman was away. I'm like, oh, this match is going to be 1v1 and just rotate who the ones are for 45 minutes before we finally get a finale that involves all three. And it actually wasn't that way because aside from that opening, a majority of this match did involve all three. So I was really happy about that. And yeah, like I couldn't agree more on what Dave said about Roman. It's definitely some of his best in-ring work. He was phenomenal. I have long said that I think Seth is one of the best in-ring talents they have. And I think he just showed that again. I'm really glad, like we talked about on the pre-show, that the match wasn't Seth carrying around two guys who don't work a lot. And it was actually all three of them working. And it was great. It was hands down the best match of the night. Like I would say by a mile, but that's an understatement. Like by a ton. Yeah. It was really good though. And then I didn't call it out as well as Timmy did, as far as like each individual step. But when Heyman grabbed the chair, I said he's gonna give it to Punk, to my oldest, and she's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he's definitely giving it to Punk here. He's not giving it to Roman." And then when Paul got in the ring, I said, "And he's gonna turn on Punk." I wasn't sure what he was gonna do, but I'm like, "And he's gonna turn on Punk." I wasn't as sure about the Roman turn until Roman pushed him behind him. As soon as Roman did that, I'm like, "Oh shit, it is gonna be Seth that walks out with Heyman." That's when I knew. That's when it clicked. As soon as Roman did that little arm move, I'm like, he's turning on him too.
When Heyman started yelling, "Look, it's the Shield. You could have revenge. It's the Shield." I said, "Mm-mm." I said, "He's turning. We're getting a nut shot. Watch this."
Don't look at what the left hand is doing. Just look over here.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no.
One other thing I'll say is, I mean, there were a lot of them, of course, because it's three guys in there doing it. But there wasn't finisher move, fucking 45 spears, 45 fucking punches, 1,000 head fucking stomps. There was a number of them, but there wasn't, like he said, a Roman match 3, 4, 5 years ago. That's all you get: spear, punch, spear, punch. Goldberg, spear. But it's like, oh my god, stop already. It didn't have a lot of those in this one, and that's what made it even better. And that's how you knew Punk at least showed up to this one, because he was having a hard time getting those two up on his shoulders, especially Roman. He was like, I don't know if I can do this. But he did it, so good for him. But yeah, you can tell he's definitely the slowest one out there. But I said I'm going to give him credit because, I mean, his AEW comeback was all garbage. I mean, complete garbage. Yeah. And since he's been back, he's getting slightly better. And I think this is easily his best match since he's been better. Since he's been back.
It's got to be between this and his Hell in a Cell with Drew.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's got to be those 2.
Yeah. Which got to give you hope. He's had 2 good matches in the last few months, so that's,
He just got to stay healthy.
Yep, that's all it is.
I will say on it, I don't really like speaking highly of the man, but what WWE did for his entrance, where they had like the 20-something-year-old Punk and then like would come over to like the nowadays Punk, like that little thing with his old school music. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was cool.
In Living Color performing live
in the house.
It was.
Who are these guys?
They still got it.
Do these guys yeet too? They don't do yeets. I don't like it. Shut up. You got fucking Slayer out there, and every kid there's trying to yeet around Slayer. It's like, come on, you little bastards. We don't yeet during Slayer. Sorry.
That's not how this goes. Yeah,
I would have backhanded my kid trying to yeet during Slayer.
And to just tag along, which I'm sure we'll get to in a little bit, but I'm very interested to see where that story goes now with Paul and Seth and another member who we will discuss later.
Yeah, when we get to Monday. So let's jump into night 2 then.
Night Dos. Opening match. Io Sky retains in the triple threat match against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Exactly how all three of us predicted.
Because there's really no other way. They made it too obvious. Io's an afterthought. Io doesn't count. Io doesn't matter. Guess what, motherfucker? Io's going to win now. We know the game you're playing.
Yeah. I'll start on this one. I thought the match was really good. All three of them were at different points in the match, really in the bag. They're pulling out some nice stuff. I really want to give it a 4, but I don't know that I would say that I enjoyed that match as much as I enjoyed the triple threat from the night previous. So like I feel weird about it. I also think it's better. So like I'm gonna pull a mellow and go 3.75 here. Is where I'm gonna put it. Because I still think that the triple threat from the night previous was a better match. But it was really good. It was a really good match. The Io continues to be amazing in the ring, and we'll talk more about Io when we get to Monday.
Oh, you mean the Io that didn't deserve to be in that match, according to Big Daddy Cool?
Oh, I agree.
Kevin Nash?
I still say she doesn't deserve to be in that match, but good for her winning.
You don't think she deserves to be in that match? That she's boring?
I firmly disagree.
No, was she boring? Did I say boring?
Nash did.
Well, she's a genius of the sky. I guess she's not that boring.
Kevin Nash said that she's boring and she didn't deserve to be in that match.
Yeah, Kevin Nash. I think confusing Big Daddy Cool, me and him.
It's the Twitter. It's the WhatsApp handle that throws.
Listen, he's got the old man. He got the old band wrestling thing going. He got the Brett thing going. Nothing was better than when I was in the ring. So yeah,
he didn't laugh like once at the Hall of Fame. It was really weird. They kept cutting to him, and he was just sitting there like.
Well, him. He's a bit of a narcissist. I don't hear my name. Me and Big Kev. Then he gets happy. He gets happy when he hears his name spoken.
But yeah, with this one, I'll give it a 3.5. It was good. I don't think it was better than the main event or another match that's on this card, but I do think it was good. Those women did a great job, and I don't know where Io's gonna go with this coming up, but I do think you would get that Bianca Rhea coming up, hopefully.
I agree with everything you said. I give it a 3.5. Also, it was very good. I loved the finish. I thought the finish was great. Rhea is just, and Bianca both are just, they just do their shit, man. They're just, as much as I could watch them all day, I don't want to watch them all day. So I hope this feud that we got coming is kind of a quick one. Let them beat the shit out of each other for a few months and then take a break. But yeah, who's really better than those two right now? So it was a great match. Io is up there, but yeah, these two are just
not in WWE anyway.
Yeah, they're just well above the rest. Some of the other women really got to start getting, and Liv. I'll put Liv up there too, because Liv is fucking coming. She's come into her own. And all it took was a stupid laugh gimmick, and hooking her up with Dirty Dom. Look, who would have thought?
Well, we'll touch on that when we get to that match, because she's on the card too. So, because I have more to say about that as well. Moving on, Drew McIntyre defeats Damian Priest in a Sin City street fight. It was what I expected. I don't think it was over the top special, but it wasn't a bad match. It's in that. It's a 3. It's a 3 for me. It was good. Wasn't great. Drew is phenomenal. Damian Priest's in-ring work is solid. It was enjoyable. I don't have any qualms with this match. I don't have a lot to add to it, but it was good.
Agreed. I think 3 is right. Just a couple spots that I thought were pretty good. When he was going to claymore him, that he had the chair, and then he's able to do, I forgot what he calls his choke slam. And then to finish it off, that he finally did get him to do the claymore on the chair for Drew to win. I think that was good. I think it was the right decision as well. So yeah, 3 to me is okay.
Yeah, I can go 2.5, 3. It was enjoyable. It was exactly what we knew it was going to be. I was actually expecting something a little bit more over the top, but I'm kind of glad they didn't go that way. It's amazing what Drew has become. It's funny because I always said Drew is just a lockdown champion. Like, we were on lockdown, and he's the best guy to cover that during that pandemic champion. I thought he was only that. He'll never be another good champion, but I think he does have another run in him. Especially the way he's going now. So, yeah, I enjoyed it, though. It was good.
But it might be a minute before we get that, it looks like.
Listen, this roster is ridiculously stacked, and you just can't get everybody in there.
Oh, man, really? Oh, well, I guess, it's crazy.
It is.
Yeah. Just like, another promotion.
Yet they somehow keep them in halfway decent story.
Another promotion that, their roster is extremely stacked, but everyone complains, oh my God, this person's not getting used. Oh, look at that. They're not getting used.
Spending a lot of money on
they're not using their own goddamn homegrown people. They're giving it to outsiders.
Everyone's an outsider. Cody, Cody, technically, we could count that Cody was not Cody until he left. So he's technically an outsider.
He didn't become Cody because of AEW.
He didn't?
No, absolutely not.
Well, okay.
Absolutely not.
It was his
absolutely
indie
not.
run scene, and so then he became Cody in New Japan?
Absolutely.
Okay, then, but that still coincides with AEW.
No. It was before AEW existed. No.
It coincides with it, is what I'm saying.
No, stop it. And even then, even if you want to give them that credit, it still plays into exactly what Tim said. Oh, so he blows up for you, and then you stop using him. He falls out of favor, and
they didn't stop using him. He just
what are you talking about?
He pigeonholed himself by saying, "I lose this match, and I can never compete for the world championship again." Why the hell? That was the stupidest thing that he did in AEW.
Oh, so Cody wrote the story. What you're saying?
He was just trying to show everybody, look, even though I'm the boss and I'm the owner, I'm not gonna hawk. I'm not gonna.
What are you talking about? The Young Bucks did it. It was their ideas to create all this stuff. It had nothing to do with Cody. What are you talking about? Yeah, Mello doesn't have a response for that one. Interesting enough. Moving on.
Like one day we'll have an all-out debate, but let's just stick to the topic now.
I don't know. We're not going to, because I don't feel like spending time researching for a debate.
Jacob
to actually have all the stats.
A WWE grown superstar, so we're just gonna throw that out there as well. But
okay, who said he was?
Because you're saying that what Timmy's thing is that all AEW guys are just like coming over, but WWE is doing the same thing. Stephanie McCur's not a WWE person, and everyone loves her. Gil right now is probably watching her. Like there's Ray Phoenix, what's this guy's name? Penta. None of these guys are WWE guys.
Oh yeah, the guys that couldn't get on TV in AEW. It's crazy. They're on TV now and they're doing good. Shocker.
Everyone loves them now, but when they're in AEW, oh my God, all these guys do is flippy stuff. They're so.
When was the last time? When was the last time Ray Phoenix wrestled in AEW? He just signed like a couple weeks ago. When was the last time he wrestled in AEW?
That's his fault. Not AEW. He was hurt.
Oh, okay, right.
For like 8 months.
He was not hurt. He's said that multiple people have said this. He wasn't hurt. They just stopped using him. They got wind. They got wind. He wasn't. That he was thinking about leaving, and they put him on the shelf.
That's not what happened.
100%. 100%. Move on. We're wasting time talking about a nonsense promotion. What I assume Mello was going to say was the best match of the night, the Fatal 4-Way for the IC title. We had Dominic Mysterio winning his first big solo belt in WWE, defeating Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta. Melo, start us off.
Yep. This match, I think, gave you everything that you wanted. Good wrestling, good power, fun moves, and even again, a little surprise. And yeah, I'm happy Dirty Dom won it. The crowd was behind him. And yeah, to me, this was a 4-star. This goes up with that main event, I would say, in night one. And we got now the third father-son duo to win the Intercontinental Championship, him and Eddie. So
it's him and Rikishi and Jay, and it's
Mr. Perfect and Curtis Axel.
There you go. That's the third one. So yeah, couldn't agree more. Great match. I agree with the rating there. 4 stars sounds right to me. I thought that the 2 matches there, the main event from night 1 and this match, were, in my opinion, the best matches of the weekend. 4 stars. It was great all around. All 4 people involved. All 4 people getting chances to shine, and terrific ending. Loved it. Love the fact that you made sure that it was Dom pinning Finn as the ending. I love it. Not that I love Finn losing, but that I just love that we can keep a story being told there. We can keep that going. And yeah, very, very happy with this match.
Yep, I agree. And the press conference afterwards, I say again, is where I'm afraid again. Now he's getting cheered uncontrollably now, Dom. And they're asking him, how do you feel now? Now I get to talk. They're letting me talk now. Like, this is great. And then he tries to switch back to heel. I'm the greatest champion of all time. He said to Biggie, how many times have you been champion? He's like, twice. He goes, I'm already better than you. Like that. That's that heel thing. But meanwhile, the crowd's Dom. And he's all like, I don't want to screw him. I don't want to screw him up. I hope they don't screw this up.
They have to keep him in that MJF role. Like, even if they cheer, still have him be bad. Still have him be like, I'm already a Hall of Famer. Yeah, I can retire now.
That's got to be the new gimmick.
I don't know if you guys have seen his I don't know if you've seen any of the meet and greet stuff from him. He is not anything like MJF.
No.
Nothing.
Well, I meant camera wise. I know he's a lot nicer. Yeah.
He should get a shirt that says WWE Hall of Fame 2050 or whatever.
Oh my god, that would be so great.
Ocho Cinco. He comes out with the jacket.
That would be phenomenal.
Greatest IC, greatest. I have a list of the comments on the greatest IC champion of all time. That whole thing. That would be the best way to him continue to be an asshole.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if next week WWE Shop puts that up, since we just said it.
They do tend to steal ideas from us here.
Constantly. I'm gonna copyright that right now. Heard that? Copyrighted right now.
I don't think it works that way. It's not like I declare bankruptcy from the office. I declare bankruptcy.
It's a verbal contract.
I do like that, like you said, that he was the one that pinned Finn. And again, any other time, Finn is probably one of those guys. Well, Finn's another one that he should have beat Seth. That we didn't talk about. But
that's fair.
I'll say this is the one time where I don't mind Finn taking that pin, just because, like you said, it's gonna tell a longer story, and the eventual whenever these guys split up. And obviously, I mean, I'm sure Finn was so happy for Dom.
Well, you saw the images online of him in the ring while Dom is celebrating, and he's supposed to be down in the corner, and he's trying to make a face, but you could see that he's actually smiling, he's really happy for him. Yeah, I thought that was really. I mean, breaking kayfabe and stuff, but that was great. It was great to see.
Yeah, it was good, and we all picked it again too. So
yeah. We need to take a time out here and just give all of ourselves a nice pat on the back for pretty much predicting this entire weekend almost to a T.
Charles got me, right? I think I lost another one too, but I know the Charles one definitely got me. I was shocked by Charlotte.
When she pinned her after she hit the moonsault, I'm like, oh, she's gonna kick out. And when he hit 3, I was like, oh shit, oh wow!
I thought for sure she was kicking out of that.
Oh yeah, I'm like, oh, this isn't over yet. She's kicking out. And then she didn't. I was like, what the fuck? But no, that was great. Next match was the shortest match of the weekend. Randy Orton defeating the TNA World Champion Joe Hendry,
and then doing the turnaround, which was great.
Yeah. How long did it last for? Like 3 minutes?
3 minutes 10 seconds. It was very short.
Which, if you see any of the interview with Joe Hendry, he said that Stone Cold and someone else,
John Cena.
Cena said, "Listen, that was perfect. It's perfect. Yeah. You had the perfect match at the perfect time. Don't worry about the ending. You did exactly what you needed to do. You're going to be a fucking superstar because of this." Then they went, "What about the second arc?" He goes, "Nah, it's perfect. It's perfect. You took it perfect. Don't worry about it."
Well, even he was on. I think he was with Bubba Ray. I can't call him Bully Ray. I hate that name. He was on with Bubba Ray, and he talked about it, and he said, and this was Joe Hendry said that he felt that if you look back at, I forgot who it was Randy Orton and someone else, but he used to do that, and he would do it to people as like a sign of like initiation, like hey. And then so he gave him the second one, and then you saw, before Randy Orton leaves the ring, he goes over to him and gives him the pat on the chest, and Joe Hendry talked about how like he felt like that was his like, hey, good job, kid. And and then he talked about all the positive things that were said to him by Stone Cold and Cena and all the other ones, and I think even Orton was on somewhere had positive things to say about him. So we all would have probably liked to see him go a little longer. However, I do think with the grand scheme of things, it does make sense. And while a lot of people are like, why would TNA allow their champion to be in a squash match at WrestleMania? It's like, timeout. Your TNA World Champion was on at WrestleMania. That in itself is huge. On top of that, he's on in WrestleMania carrying your belt. Like your belt, your TNA World title is on WrestleMania with your champion. Like, no matter how that match went, that's a huge win for TNA. Huge. So I agree with those things. In the moment, it felt like, oh man, because Joe Hendry is actually really good in the ring. So I kind of would have liked to seen him go a little longer. But no, it worked. It was okay. The match, you can't give that match more than like 2.5 stars. Really, 2 is probably, because there's nothing really to judge. It was a squash match.
It was more about the moment.
Exactly. It was more about the moment and the storytelling behind it and all that other good stuff. And so from that standpoint, I loved it. The match itself, 2 stars. You can't really give that match anything else.
Why does Farachi hate Joe Hendry so much?
I don't know. Weird.
That guy needs a like a.
I think it's more about his love for Randall Keith than anything.
Listen, Randy Orton's at the end. The end.
Yeah,
he has to do what he's supposed to. Well, now he's feuding with Cena. We'll see, but
he said that he has what, like 2 or 3 years left on his deal. Randy said this. He said he wants to sign another 5-year deal after that, and then that would probably be. He said he'll see where we're at, but that might be the end. So he's talking like another 8 or 9 years.
He's done after this deal.
We'll see. There's no way Triple H is not giving him another deal. There's no.
I mean, even AJ Styles.
Less dates.
Even AJ was like, "I got one more deal in me." Now he's like, "I don't think I do."
I'm with you on this one, and I think 2 is good just based off like how short it was, but that still was a great WrestleMania moment. I don't know why Joe Hendry didn't even pop into my head as being the guy that Randy Orton was going to come out to, but seeing him definitely shocked me, and I thought everything was perfect. This is just going to build him more so that eventually when he does get to WWE, because I would say TK fumbled on not getting to that man a lot sooner. He's going to be a star.
Yeah, great moment. Everyone had Rusev and Aleister Black on the brain. No one even, I think it made him forget about Joe Hendry, but when looking back now, it makes the most obvious sense. Because you can't have Rusev pop in and lose to Randy Orton. You can't have Aleister Black pop in and lose to Randy Orton. And you can't have Randy Orton losing.
That's why I thought it was going to be Nick Aldis. I was like, it doesn't make any sense for these guys to come back and then beat Randy. Like, no, it just doesn't make sense. So it's got to be Nick Aldis. And I don't know why just Joe Hendry just never popped into my head.
No, it was good. Solid. Solid moment.
It might be because of what Ann said that people are like, oh, why would you have your TNA champion go in a WrestleMania? But it's like, why not? This is the event that's getting the most eyes across the globe. And that's just going to be
any of these independents and any of these independents would have sent their champion to get their ass whooped just to get recognition. That doesn't matter.
It's insane. And then you also get him like in front of the biggest audience he's ever been in front of. So after that, it doesn't matter who he is in front of. He's going to be set.
Giddy up.
All right. Next match. Logan Paul defeats AJ Styles in a singles match with a small cameo appearance by Karrion Kross that Dave says has nothing to do with a potential pending push coming for Mr. Karrion Kross. Total coincidence that he's just magically started showing up more lately. Yeah, but on to the match.
Dave, yeah, you start. I want to hear yours.
And how long was this match?
17 minutes, 50 seconds.
Wow.
It was the second longest match of night 2.
That's crazy. I thought this match was a lot shorter. Just based on how uninterested I really was in this match. And it's crazy because I normally don't say that with AJ or Logan for the most part. But to me, I would say this is probably Logan's worst match that he's had. I don't know why. I just wasn't. It didn't really mean much to me. And I'd give it 1.5 stars.
And your Karrion Kross issues?
I don't have any. I love Karrion Kross. I just don't. He hasn't been being used correctly. It hasn't been just this year, this month, last month. He's been around for years now. And when he first came back, what did he do? He came back and interrupted Roman Reigns and put the stupid little hourglass in front of him. Never came back to that. Then it's been years of, okay, this, we don't know what we're doing. He's going to be off TV. Last year, he was in my eyes was the worst WrestleMania match in that tag team match. I thought that was awful. And then this year, he's not even.
Wasn't the worst match because of him, though.
No, but it still was a bad match.
Okay.
I don't think he's I think he's great. But
okay, but now
to say that Triple H hasn't been fumbling him or doesn't know what to do with him would be a lie. He doesn't know what to do with the man, and the man has created all his stuff by himself because he's the one that's going out there and doing all these like YouTube stuff. Like it's not WWE doing this for him because if not, we would have seen it years ago. And a perfect example of this: where's the Wyatt Six? Where's the Wyatt Six? If we want to talk about how big of a genius Triple H is, where's the Wyatt Six? Are they not fumbled? Because I have no idea where any of them are.
They're definitely fumbled. But with the Karrion Kross thing, and I'm starting to become a believer. I do believe they're doing this devil on the shoulder thing that's going to end up being a long thing. The Roman Reigns hourglass thing is supposed to be a reference to him telling Roman, "You're going to be by yourself pretty soon. You're done. Like you're not going to you're losing everything." Now, when you look at it, he's lost everything.
2.5 years later, though, like that's we're going to base something off 2.5 years. That's not. You can't tell me that that's planned. You can't tell me. All right, you're gonna do this, and eventually, in like 4 years, this is gonna pay off.
How is it that every single people he touches communicates with turns heel and ends up becoming
that's easy storylines you could tell based off of like at the end. Like
you can look back and be easy storylines for like 10 people.
We can use that. Yeah, because he's dropping to everybody.
Look at Monday night.
He's dropped to pretty much everyone. So once that person turns, you can immediately be like, oh yeah, that was Karrion Kross. Like you can't give me that's their game plan. That is not their game plan.
The New Day walked past him and he looked at them and smiled. Did you see that part? Who gave them the advice to drop Big E? Karrion Kross. I'm just saying. Look, I love the guy too. I've been pushing for him I was pushing for him for the Vince days. When we fucking NXT champion when he first popped up. I don't think I'll agree with the Wyatt Six. I don't think anyone knows what the fuck to do with them. Why? Because Bray Wyatt was the heart of that group. No offense to his brother, you're not him. You're just not him. But Karrion, I don't know. I think this Karrion Kross is going to pay off. I'm not going to agree with you yet, Dave. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm gonna ride it out a little longer, just to see what happens. Because you talk about YouTube content too. They can't say, they may seem like it, but they can't say shit without WWE approval. Everything goes through WWE. If I met someone on the street, if I met fucking Coffee Kings on the street, said, "Want to come on my show? I got the Just Use feature. Will you come on my show?" He can't say yes. He's not allowed. Everything has to go through WWE. Even his blow up that he just had over the weekend. Now, I'm not saying that was all scripted, but I'm sure that had to go through the proper channels, as to say. Not everybody's punk these days from back in the day with the pipe bombs. You can't get away with that shit no more.
I don't think that's as much as it used to be, though. If Vince was still in charge, yes, but I think Triple H has given them a good push. Like, hey, do your stuff, but like I think they have a more
as far as like Twitch and that kind of shit. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the girls are definitely showing a little bit more on Twitter and stuff lately, and getting away with it. Well, that Stephanie Vaquera popped up on one of her pictures the other day. I was like, So I don't know. I'm not agree with you 100%, but I see what you're saying. But I'm going to ride it out a little bit longer.
Yeah, I like Tim said, this social media stuff, and Triple H has alluded to this in the past, that like them getting more involved in this stuff. And this was what, like 2 years ago when he first took over? Was it 3 years ago? How long has it been now?
I have no idea.
I don't remember the exact time frame, but he's mentioned this.
Took over at WrestleMania 39, right, in Hollywood.
So 2 years ago, roughly. So, but he's talked about this before, about the social media stuff. And like Tim said, these guys are all under contracts. There's certain things they can't say and do. And that's why when you see them say and do things that are not part of what they're allowed to say and do, a la Corey Graves getting taken off TV for a little while after complaining, they get their hand slapped for it. That's why this whole Karrion Kross thing, like, yeah, what he said was real stuff. Like, I'm sure he actually feels that way. Like, hey, I should be doing more. But you best believe that stuff all went through WWE before he did it. And I feel confident saying that because he was on TV the next fucking night. So if they had a problem with what he said, there's no shot he's getting on TV the next night. There's no chance. But sure enough, he was on TV the very next night. So yeah, this is I think you've seen them really ramp up stuff with him over the last the last like 5 days, like this whole WrestleMania weekend and then through Monday Night Raw. They've really like kicked it into high gear. A bunch of you think it's just normal for him to do like 4 different interviews in like a 3-day stretch?
Yes. It's WrestleMania
Get out of
weekend.
Here with that nonsense.
It's WrestleMania weekend. Everyone's doing all these things.
Okay, so you think that 4 different wrestling shows decided, hey, this Karrion Kross, who doesn't get a lot of TV time as it is, we're just all going to interview him?
Yes, because of what's happened the last previous nights. You just said it.
No. Because the first interview was Friday, and then he did one on Sunday, and then he did one on Monday.
And at that point, he had already been in AJ's ear, right? He had fought with AJ. Or did we forget that he came out with the AJ style pants and the long hair, right? Or do we just
Mello, how are you going to downplay? How are you going to downplay when Tim says him turning guys heel, and then turn around and use it to your advantage when you're talking about these interviews?
I'm saying he's being used. So how are you going to tell me he's playing into
just downplayed it 2 seconds ago? 2 seconds ago, you said two minutes ago. You just said that there's. Oh, that's not how they wrote it. They didn't do that on purpose. That was an accident.
Oh, it's a coincidence. Why is everyone wanting to interview him? Because they actually have been using him in a storyline that's meant for WrestleMania, right?
It's the same way he's been used for the last year. It's nothing new.
Year.
It's the same thing. He pops up, he whispers in some guy's ear, and then they turn heel. It's literally the same thing. He's done it with like 10 different people.
He loses to all those 10 different people. It's not about him talking to anybody.
But it's the same thing he's done. You're saying this is something new he hasn't done before. It's been over a year he's been doing this.
Yeah, so his character is job to somebody and then they turn heel. Congratulations.
Again, this guy starts popping up with millions of views on social media and you think it's just out of nowhere. Even though literally his storyline
You're making it sound like he just started
No,
year.
You're misinterpreting what I'm saying. You just sat here and downplayed the fact that he turned all these guys heel, and that was part of storytelling. And now you're saying, he hasn't been used. Which is it?
It's lazy storytelling. You can't tell me that you job to 17 guys, and then once they turn heel, you go back to it. That's not storytelling.
Mello, I want you to name every wrestler on the roster right now that you think could hold the World Heavyweight title or the Undisputed title. Name them all.
You're going off the top of my head, really?
Here, I'll make it easier for you. Is it more than 5 names?
That could hold either one of those titles?
We'll start with Undisputed. How many people do you think could hold the Undisputed title?
He's not champion anymore, so Cody could hold that. Seth could hold that. Roman could hold that. Drew McIntyre could hold that. I think that one's about it.
Gunther.
For that title.
No Gunther?
Oh, I didn't think of Gunther. Yeah.
Gunther, so that's 5. So there's 5 names. And that's
I guess you're seeing Punk could hold that too.
So 6 names. I want you to give me a year-long storyline for one belt with 6 people.
You can do that.
Where each of them get a chance to shine. Where it's not just like a AJ Styles pop-up undisputed title match and then he's gone. Give me a storyline for 1 year, because those are all relatively full-time workers that you just named. Give me a year-long storyline with all 6 of them. And before you finish that, how many names are you putting on the heavyweight title? Because I guarantee you that list is probably going to be closer to 15 or 20.
That you're not wrong. That one, I would say there's a lot more guys.
Okay,
hold that one.
And not to mention with that heavyweight title, you're also going to probably incorporate a couple of the names you put on the undisputed belt. So now I need you to build me an intertwining storyline for those 2 belts over the next year with 21 different names. Let me know how that works out for you.
It's possible.
Some people are going to have years where they're a little bit further in the back seat, as we're seeing with Drew McIntyre right now. Drew McIntyre is not in any of the title scenes right now. Roman's not in any of the title scenes right now. Technically Seth isn't even in a title scene yet either. And Gunther just dropped the belt. And I've only just named a fraction of the names you brought up. You can't tell stories with all of these guys at the same time and have them all competing for the same belts. There's too many people.
I never said that Karrion needed to have the belt.
Relax. Let me finish the point. So when you do stuff like this with Karrion, I agree Karrion should still be getting more in-ring work. That's probably the most disappointing thing, in my opinion, over what we've seen from him. But at least they're doing something with him, and it appears to be building towards something. I'm just saying, with that many names that you have in that are all essentially in that same realm of talent, you can't have all of them going for it at the same time. It's never going to work. It gets too convoluted. You can't really tell any stories, and then you're just basically booking matches on a week-to-week basis, which sounds a lot like what another promotion does.
But it's not, because they've had one champion now for a while. Or do we forget that Jon Moxley's been that champion for half a year now?
Those storylines have been great.
Let me ask you a question too. Let's say the devil on the shoulder thing is real. Does it matter that he lost all those matches if it turns out that he's some kind of evil manipulator, which will then push him into the the main event spotlight?
No, but to say that has been the plan, that's my problem. To say that has been the plan is my issue, because you can't tell me that's where you started 2-3 years ago saying, oh yeah, we're gonna have Karrion lose for 5 years and then eventually we'll go ahead and push him. Like that, you can't give me that, because that's bullshit.
I don't think the win-losses have anything to do with it right now. I think it's just the fact that he is manipulating people to turning heel. It's just like this past Monday with the New Day. They walked past him, they looked at him, he looked at them, he smiled at them. He's probably thinking, well, I did that. That kind of thing.
Which again is, I'm okay with that. I'm okay, because this is this theory has been in the works for a minute because it started with Drew, right? I believe.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Drew.
It was like Drew, and I think he faced someone else. He faced a couple guys where this has been. I think Shinsuke was another one. Where again, I get it. Where okay, now people are putting the pieces, even though there's nothing to really put. They're just grasping at straws. But to say that that's been the whole plan ever since to get carrying over, I think it's BS.
Yeah.
Now that it's working together, yes, that they're finally okay. Hey, you know what? That actually is a good idea. Let's go with it. Fine, but to say that that's where the idea was, that's where the start was, I don't think that.
I think as I just laid out, when you have that many different names that you're trying to play around with, having a storyline like this that may have gone unnoticed at times and been in the back seat, not saying I agree with the way it was handled or not saying that I agree that it shouldn't have been something bigger for him, but having something like this, at least something, is sometimes what you're going to have to do when you have this many people. And at the end of the day, him popping up every couple weeks on Raw is still better than him not popping up at all for just months and months and months on end.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
I don't have.
How bad this AJ Styles and Logan Paul match was that we're talking about carrying cross?
Yes. Yes. We just walked around the block to get to the house next door.
Yeah, because I thought what I thought was going to be the match of the night was I had no attention to it whatsoever.
Yeah, it didn't do anything for me, and I was actually excited for it. I thought it was going to be really good, and I was disappointed. I think I don't want to put all the blame on AJ. AJ definitely seems like Father Time is starting to catch up to him a lot of bit. And you're seeing in Logan Paul what it means that someone who does not work at this full time on a regular basis, in my opinion. He can hit a lot of the big spots and they're really fun to see, but like a lot of the smaller technical stuff is just getting rougher.
I'll give it a 2.
Yeah, I agree with Tim. All right. Would we all agree highlight of the match, Karrion Kross?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. This one probably won't take long. Lyra Valkyria and the returning Becky Lynch defeat Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the women's tag team champions.
First of all, Dave, I'm going to give you, I'll give you the credit. I know we tease each other a lot, but I will give you the credit. You are 1,000% correct in the chat when you said Becky is 10 times worse than Charlotte Flair. And I said, you're fucking right she is, because every time that woman walks through her door, someone throws a goddamn belt around her fucking waist. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of her. I'm tired of the 4 horsewomen, all of them. Go away.
Becky Hogan, man.
Bug me.
So Becky is obviously a very, very good women's wrestler, but I wonder if some of this is not because of her husband.
Well, she's heel now. Could she be joining the group? Possibly.
I've heard a rumor that they're going to do that, and I'm not going to lie. I really hope they don't.
I don't want that. Yeah,
I don't want that at all. She did her little heel turn all by herself. We don't need her to join her husband. To keep them in their own paths.
If we remember back when they were both champions and they both were fighting together, I thought that was horrible. Like they put on some real duds of storylines together. So yeah, I don't want to see that either.
Yeah, I agree. The match itself, I don't think the match was terrible. The outcome was disappointing. The match wasn't bad. It's like 2.5 stars.
The outcome is for now. They needed to turn heel the following night. So they made Liv and this chick lose just so she could turn heel the following night. That's all that was about.
She could have turned heel at WrestleMania. That's my thing. She could have came back. They could have lost, and she still could have turned on Lyra. Because what the hell was
she could have literally done the exact same thing she did on Raw at WrestleMania. Yes. Literally the exact same thing.
It would have been on a bigger stage. Like, what the hell was the point of that?
Yeah, and then you could have built up a whole storyline around her and Valkyria. It would have been fine. Yeah, no, I agree completely.
Pissed me off so much this match. Not only because this is the match that the reason I lost the money on WrestleMania, but it just makes no logical sense. And I think we went back to why I mentioned it earlier when we were talking about night one, where for some reason WWE loves to give someone a belt on WrestleMania and then take it away from them the next day, thinking that that's great like TV. It's not. It's terrible.
I'll give the match a 1.
If I could give it a 0, I would. But yeah, I'll give it a 1 as well.
I didn't think the match itself was bad. Just the outcome was bad.
I was kind of bored with it.
Yeah.
Once
the one
Becky
thing I wanted
Hogan came out, I was like, oh, here we go. If Rey Fenix wasn't the one that was going to get the win, it was going to be Becky Lynch.
I'm not gonna lie, I was actually surprised that it was her though, because she was just in an interview while she was like filming a movie, like I want to say like a month ago. She was filming a movie or a TV show or something, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm done with wrestling for a little while. You know, I'm gonna just be a mom and maybe do some acting stuff and blah 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 blah." And it's like a month later, oh, and she's back, and it's like, what the fuck?
So who did you think it was gonna be?
I had no idea who it was gonna be. Honestly, I was thinking maybe it was an NXT call up or something.
I was hoping Nikita Lyons.
Yeah, an NXT. We know you were, Tim. A lot of people were. No, I was thinking it was gonna be an NXT call up. That's honestly what I thought. It was like,
it could have been anyone else. It could have been Mickie James.
Yeah, no, I was surprised it was Becky. The one thing I wanted to add about Liv Morgan, I know we talked about just how much more her star has risen over the last year and a half. Her in-ring work has gotten a lot better.
Oh,
I don't think it was terrible, but she has gotten really, really good in the ring now, and really fun to watch. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
Agreed.
So the time has come. The time has come. It is time. The time is the final time is now. For us to talk about. I don't want to call it a match. Whatever this was that ended WrestleMania. Whoever would like to start, just start talking, because I'm sure there's a lot to say.
I don't even know where to start.
Just when you think WrestleMania Night 2 couldn't get any worse, it did. Becky comes back, and then we have John Cena versus Cody Rhodes.
What do we think of the black T-shirt? No Titantron. I thought we were going to NWO John there for a minute.
I was fine with that. Didn't hate that. John is going through the same issue as CM Punk. He could have wrestled 20 years ago. He can't now wrestle now.
Well, my thing is that match went from 2.5, maybe even a 3, to the moment Travis Scott walked out. It went right down to a 1. Right down to a 1, because it makes no sense. And it's literally the last person you want to see interfere in a World Wrestling Federation match for the title at WrestleMania with a record involved. I did not want to see it. I didn't need it. I don't like them. And I think it's stupid.
I would have rather John Cena got in a chair on his own. But again, if you had Travis Scott out there, then you should have had The Rock out there. We'll get to that. But the fact that you didn't have The Rock, you just had Travis Scott, it was like, what? This doesn't make any sense. And it makes even less sense today after Rock was on McAfee. I didn't like it. Again, I didn't care that Cena won the match. I just didn't like the way that match went around everything.
The ending. Match wasn't good. Travis Scott coming out took away from it. Can't even say it didn't add anything. It took away from it. No, honestly, it did. It did. I think I agree with Tim 100%. It's a historic match with record breaking title implications on it. That had Travis Scott been a part of like all of the build up to this point instead of just at Backlash, like, okay, cool. Like maybe I could have gotten behind it a little bit more. but like him just showing up to come out and take a oh my god, my brain's fried. Him coming out just shouldn't have happened. There's
and
nothing
taking
else
his
needs to
sweet
be
ass
said.
time getting down to the ring.
Yo, that man took 38 minutes to walk to the. This match was 21 minutes and 40 seconds long. 12 minutes and 40 seconds of that was Travis Scott walking to the ring.
Cena was happy that he was coming. I mean, come on. The fucking rapper, for Christ's sake. He weighs
Like I said,
110 pounds.
Like I said, had he been more part of the buildup and had we seen him pop up, 3 or 4 more times, I might have been a little more okay with this. But just having him bitch slap Cody at Backlash and then pop up again at Mania, yeah, not good. It's not good.
Nope. Dave, go for it.
I think I said all I had to say about this one. Yeah, I'm good with it being at a 1.
All right. So yeah, I'm not going to give it anything higher than that. I would have to agree. It was the most disappointing way I think I've ever seen a Mania end.
And for it to be the way that John breaks the record, it's like, really?
It puts an asterisk on it. It's that simple. And it's sad to say because it's such a great career to this point. But holy shit, that was bad. Let's get into the Rock part of this because I think that's probably the elephant in the room that we need to discuss.
There is no Rock part.
Well,
literally,
I'm gonna ask a question. Numerous wrestling outlets have reported that the Rock's involvement in this was because the Rock wanted Cody to turn heel and join the Rock and defeat Cena. Triple H and Cody supposedly shot this idea down, said it wasn't the time for Cody to turn heel yet, and the Rock took, as they say, took his ball and went home. Any belief to this?
So then instead of Cody turning, they had Cena turn?
Yes, that was the compromise made, according to the report. The compromise made was Triple H said, well, how about we have Cena join you? And The Rock said okay, and was supposed to be a part of the buildup, but then apparently being mad that his idea wasn't chosen, decided to not show up anymore. Because apparently he was supposed to be a part. Remember, when he came out of Backlash, there were reports that he was going to be showing up at a couple of events. And then after a few weeks went by, Rock's not scheduled for any more WWE events in the foreseeable future. Like, it was kind of sudden. Like, wait a second, we just saw him. What do you mean he's not coming back anytime soon? So there's a lot of little things, little breadcrumbs that seem to give some truth to this story, or seem to give some truth to this story. Obviously, we'll probably never know, not for another 20 or 30 years, what really happened here. I am leaning heavily on the fact that I think The Rock got pissy and decided not to play ball, because that seems like the most Dwayne Johnson thing I've ever heard.
It's gonna be great when we chime into the McAfee stuff. He said, based on on the sources that people have come out with this, I wouldn't disagree with if Triple H and Cody made that call for him not to turn heel right now. I'm completely okay with that. I don't think it is the right time for Cody to turn heel. So that I'm all right with. If The Rock took his ball and went home, I think it sounds like Dwayne, especially after he comes on McAfee yesterday and says that after Backlash, he allegedly made the call. Well, actually, no. Let's start off a little behind that. Timmy, do you know anything about this?
I don't know. Okay.
So the Rock goes on McAfee and says that, I guess McAfee's like talking to him about Mania and stuff like that, and where was he? So he says that, I forgot who it was, called him because the ticket sales to WrestleMania weren't doing well. Like, hey, we should probably do something. Like, we need your help and stuff like that to kind of boost WrestleMania. So then this whole Cena going heel thing happens. And allegedly then he calls Cena and Cody and tells them, yeah, it looks like I don't think the final boss needs to be in the storyline anymore. You guys take it from here. I don't want to overshadow you guys. Final boss is done. He's taking a seat back. And then that's why we didn't get him at WrestleMania, because he was done with it all. Even though he's the one who started this, which makes no sense why he would take a step back from this at all. Or why was Travis Scott there? Like, if you're taking a seat back, then so should Travis Scott. No, like it made zero sense to anything, and there was no mention of it at all.
It doesn't make sense, and I don't know what to believe. Does it seem like a Rock move? Sure. Would he do it to hurt the business though? I don't know.
Maybe not to hurt, but to like, because he can always use this again because he's a board member and be like, hey, you guys remember what happened there? Remember I stepped back and then Triple H kind of messed up this WrestleMania? Maybe I need a little bit more control. Who knows? Because he's on the board, right? So he still has some say in there.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think right now we can go either way, but it was dumb to not have him and have Travis frickin' Scott. Until Travis Scott takes a fucking vicious right cross from fucking Cody Rhodes, that receipt has not been met yet. I hope Cody breaks his fucking jaw. This way he can really mumble rap. Fucking songs. So let's get into Raw real quick before I fall asleep live on the air.
Nothing else to add about Rock's comment on McAfee?
Oh, what else you got?
Yeah, I listened to it. I listened to it after the fact because I was at work when it happened, but I went back and listened to it. After hearing The Rock talk about it, I believe more of these reports. It sounds like a man who is bitter and wants more attention and is upset that I didn't believe anything he said. And I think the reason what played into it even more for me is that so his last appearance on McAfee was the final boss. And this time his appearance on McAfee is him sitting in his home with his glasses on and being professional Mr. Executive, The Rock, even though he was supposed to be a part of a storyline and just talking about business stuff and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, that sounds like a guy that didn't get his way and is being pissy about it. And that's how it seemed to me. Disappointing to say. I love The Rock. He's going to always be one of my favorite wrestlers ever. I would hope this isn't true, but my God, does it seem like it is.
All these wrestlers get bitter.
He's entering his bitter old wrestler phase.
And Brett is their king, so.
It doesn't seem like Stone Cold gets bitter at all, even though he almost killed some lady at a...
Yeah, he just gets more drunk and can't find the ramp and then almost kills somebody.
Did you see the meme where they're like I think he's like going like this, and Austin, like someone put it, they're like, by God, next thing I know, I lost control of the four-wheeler and I hit the thing, and that lady was selling for me like it was 1998.
I did see that. I thought it was hilarious. Her fall back into her chair was very delayed. He hit the barricade and the lady like had to compute what happened, and she's like, "Oh, I'm hurt now."
I would have whispered to her, "Play fucking dead. Don't move. Just lay there."
Nick Khan even came over and checked on her.
I said, "Hi, Nick. How are you? My wife is not doing very well." Well, how do I think come backstage, meet all the wrestlers? She's doing great, Nick. She's doing fantastic.
She's gonna be the new green shirt guy.
I said, Nick, we can settle this right now out of court right now. You ready? Ringside seats, New York, everything for the next 5 years. Everything. I want to meet all the wrestlers with a badge around my neck. They all have to come over and say hello to me. Yes or no? Right now, no lawyers. Let's do it.
No lawyers. Sign.
Oh, man.
I said, yes or no, Nick. Time's cut up. Nick, 5 seconds, Nick. Oh, that's it. We're going to court. Wife's dead. Wife's broken neck. Fine. Traumatized for the rest of her life. Can't see a four-wheeler. Can't see a bald white guy anymore. It's done. It's over.
Oh, man. All right. I guess, let's kick us off for Raw then.
Let's start with the obvious one because, again, let's talk about Rusev. Poor Rusev. Even though he came back and he had like that initial 10-second pop, then it was a fart in church. No one cares. No one cares.
Looks good. He looks good.
He looks good, yeah.
He looked good, but no one cares. I think some people just cannot get over no matter what they do. You think he should have changed the gimmick?
And came back as what, Miro?
Not Miro, something.
Not to backtrack us, but I found the ownership holdings for TKO.
Oh God.
And I just want it to be known that Triple H and Stephanie, the McMahon-Helmsley household, holds more than 5 times the amount of shares as The Rock does.
There you go.
Just throwing that out there.
So we know who the boss still is.
It doesn't mean anything because Ari Emanuel, who owns 61% of the company, is actually a longtime Rock friend. So it may not mean anything in the long run, but just throwing that out there.
He's the one that called him, no? Wasn't it?
That's what The Rock claims, is that Ari called him, my friend of 20 plus years.
Because ticket sales were going down the toilet, and they needed to save WrestleMania. Which who knows? Maybe that did happen. Maybe that, because ticket sales weren't doing great because they were so expensive. But
if you start making ringside seats $50,000, I bet you'll sell out easily.
For sure.
They still had to open up more seats, even though they dropped the price. They only made available 58,000 tickets for each night, and they sold 61 and 63,000 for the 2 nights. So they had to open up more tickets as time went on. All right, Monday night. I know Timmy's getting heavy-eyed over there.
I'm getting heavy-eyed.
Rusev felt well. It was fun for fun, but yeah, there's a reason he hasn't gotten over in both companies he's been in.
And so, what are they going to do with him?
I have no idea.
Okay, it came out. It was like, oh, it's Rusev, and everyone was like, oh my God, it's Rusev, and we don't care anymore.
And he's the heel, I guess, right? Because he attacked American Alpha.
I guess so. That's what you do. You want to be heel, you attack America. Even if it's American Alpha.
It was cool. It was cool to see, and for the first 5 to 10 seconds, and it was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It's Rusev. Who cares?
Oh, never mind. There's way more people on this roster I'd rather be watching right now. What else do we want to touch on for Monday? We already kind of touched on Becky and Valkyrie dropping the belts right back to Liv and Raquel.
There was only 3 matches on the Monday night after Raw.
After Mania?
After Mania, that's what I meant.
Like, the Raw after Raw.
The Raw after Raw. I'm not wrong in saying that for a long time now, that Monday night after Mania hasn't been anything special.
No, it hasn't. It's been who's in charge is dropping that ball. Vince or Triple H. There hasn't been anything really like, oh my God, mind-blowing since Shane came back. Was that on Monday night after WrestleMania?
Was it Shane?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I'm taking a shot. What was the last real great Raw after WrestleMania? I don't know. I have no clue.
Didn't Mick Foley win the world title on Raw after Mania one year? Like in 1999 or something like that? Or 98 or 2000?
Way back.
Anyways, there's 3 matches. Which ones? We had the tag team one we just mentioned. There was the Dom retaining because of the return of JD McDonough. The infamous return of JD McDonough. I believe that's how you have to say it. What was the third match? I don't even remember.
Wasn't it Io and Stephanie McCur?
There we go. That was the third match. Tim's eyes just widened.
Which was a great match.
It was a really good match.
And they had to stop it. They can't give you a finish, which I thought was actually a brilliant idea. We can't give you a winner, so we got to throw in, interference.
I agree. I actually like the way they did that because you got to see enough of them wrestling to show off their talents, but then you don't get to see a winner, so you're not down. You're not, taking away anything from either one of them.
You got a lot of non-English speaking women coming in. The promos are going to be outstanding.
Don't tell Donald Trump.
If they look like that, I think we're all okay with it.
Yeah, because once Io got done speaking, I was like, oh, thank God. Let's hear Stephanie. Shoot, thick accent. I was like, whoa. I forgot she got a thick accent too.
Yeah, but she got a lot of thick things.
And then we got Irish chicks from the left. We got this other chick from the. It's like, what is going on here, people?
So I guess we can get to that finish since there was nothing else to really talk about on Monday night.
Go for it.
So we get Seth, Paul, give us a little bit, and then we get CM Punk coming out. He gets beat down. Then we get Roman coming out. And then we have the appearance of, I guess, the new member of this little faction that Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman have, and that is none other than Braun Breaker. And he absolutely demolished Roman Reigns. So what do we think?
It's interesting because I don't think Braun needs a. Oh, he might need an advocate or a heater, but he definitely does not need a team or a fucking stable, whatever you want to call it now.
Yeah, he doesn't need a team.
But
neither does Seth.
Seth. I mean, that's pretty cool. It's going to be a pretty cool evolution-like type, faction.
So who do we think? We're assuming then there might be a fourth man.
Tim, if you could add anyone to as the next man to the group, who is it? Anyone on the roster? NXT or WWE or the big roster, either one.
That's a good question. Let me think. Who hasn't? Because if you're following protocol, you got like the established world champion, the up and coming. You need a guy who's been disrespected, guy who hasn't really been given the chance. What's his name? I got it. What's his name? I can't think of his name though. The A-Train.
What's his name? A-Train? You mean
A double? What the hell was it called? I forget. I don't remember his name.
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory. There you go.
I thought you were talking about Tenzai.
No, not Tenzai. I think Austin Theory would be
Prince
perfect
Albert.
in that group.
Mello, who's your guy?
It's Austin Theory. I think that would be perfect there for him.
I could not agree more.
That's pretty scary.
Like Timmy said, it's a guy who has talent, but hasn't been used right. He's been just kind of here and there. And why not put him under that Seth Rollins wing to really get to know how to be that Seth Rollins? That he definitely could be.
Oh yeah, you want to put a rocket ship on Austin Theory? You throw him together in that group right there, and holy smokes, you have him turn on his little buddy there that no one cares about.
Should.
No, there's a perfect path for it, and he makes so much sense as the guy that it should be. I saw some people say Cross online. I don't think that makes any sense, and I don't like the idea of Cross. I hated that one. I was like, no, absolutely not. Like carry him, keep doing what he's doing, and as he just get him more on fucking screen. But no, Theory made the most sense. That was like that was literally like the first name that popped in my head. I was like, this is perfect for Austin Theory. He could really use this. And as much as I agree that Braun doesn't need it, neither does Seth. Seth doesn't need Paul Heyman to be Seth freaking Rollins. Like, he's going to be a main guy regardless. I do love the idea of the evolution comparisons because it is very interesting. I guess we're saying that Paul Heyman is the Ric Flair in that situation, but Flair was still wrestling at the time, so it's going to be a little different, obviously. But yeah, no, if you look at it like that, and you have Rollins in the Triple H role, and then you have Braun as essentially your Batista, and then Theory is your Randy Orton, that's perfect. Like that's chef's kiss. That's beautiful. Set it up, make it happen. Let them just go to town on people. The other side of this coin is, I'm sure you guys have seen the videos floating online of the stares that Roman and CM Punk were giving each other after they were brutalized in the ring as they were leaving the ring. Are we seeing Punk and Roman team up? Or are we going to see some lone wolf Roman here for a little while?
We might not see Roman for a while.
Might not see him for a while. It's possible too.
Punk don't play with others. Roman, don't need it. I mean, they might team up once in a while. They'll probably team up soon for a tag match against these two, but that's like a full-time team now.
I think if they do, I think they need to. They can't go over.
Yeah.
They can't go over those guys. Like maybe that's where you introduced Austin Theory, or the other name that I heard, and I was like, I don't know, is Carmelo Hayes. Speaking of it,
he could use it. He could use it. I don't know if I like it as much as Theory, but he could use it definitely. They've been kind of trying to find that spark for him.
Yeah, so that he doesn't become Ricochet Jr. But if anything, this might be more of a WCW. I saw the comparisons to a Dangerous Alliance.
This was a Paul E.
Yeah, I'm saying people have been making more a little bit of that comparison than Evolution, since Evolution, like you said, had Ric Flair still wrestling. Probably.
Hey, you can't bring back the Horsemen. You can't bring back the NWO. It doesn't work. But hey, why not bring back the Dangerous Alliance? That could work.
It had some.
Most people never heard of the Dangerous Alliance.
That's why. So it might be something new to a lot of people. Be like, hey, that can work, And Dangerous Alliance had a couple of Hall of Famers in there.
I agree. I'll go for it.
No, if we get another Stunning Steve, why not?
Stunning Steve, the woman killer.
Well, Theory's. Mello just said it. He's very talented. So getting him into something like this and getting him back in the spotlight would be.
Yeah, he's really never on TV. Really. He's never on TV. He's never doing anything important. He's never doing anything good. And I've liked him since he first came out.
I told you guys when I ran into Kevin Owens at the airport that Theory was the one that was with him. But while Kevin Owens is just standing there and it's Kevin Owens, Theory was in front of him with a hoodie on, and he had that hoodie pulled. I kid you not. I can't even. He had this thing pulled so far down over his face, like you couldn't tell there was a person in there. It was wild, but it was definitely him. I didn't realize it was him until I walked up to Kevin Owens and I gave him a fist bump, and I looked over and I could see like the bottom profile of his face. And I kind of I didn't make it intentional where I'm like, hey, who's in there? But I kind of peeked a little bit and I'm like, oh shit, that's Austin Theory. But he didn't look like he wanted to be bothered, so I wasn't going to fuck with him. KO gave me a fist bump. I kept moving about my day and I was like, cool, I'll take it. Yeah, Kevin Owens. I stuck my fist out, just hoping he would see it. He looked at me, he gave me a fist bump, and just gave me a head nod, and we kept going. I was like, "All right, I'll take it." Moving on.
You should have kept yelling until he looked at you. Then you just said, "Acknowledge me."
But yeah, no. So Theory would be good. I like Theory. Carmelo wouldn't be bad. I can't think of anyone else though.
Yeah, same.
Not off the top of my head, no.
I can't think of anyone else that I feel would add something to the faction. Put it that way. I think if there's any other names we're throwing in there, I just think it's kind of like, oh, there's just an extra guy.
It's got to be someone that that's known. It can't just be like some guy from off the street.
Still have two members. We could have a woman too. I don't want it to be Becky either, but you could have.
Please no.
Please no. Please no.
Everything has to be equal these days, so you got to throw a woman and an Indian midget in there, so everyone's accounted for.
Who would I don't know who the woman would be though. Assuming Becky is off the table.
Becky should be off the table. Becky should be home with her kid.
As much talent as they have in the women's division, I'm okay with that.
Stop bringing her kid to press conferences and annoying the hell out of me.
Yo. Yo, they kept trying to ask Valkyria questions, and then the little kid would just start talking, and I'm like, yo, this is kind of weird.
Let her interrupt. I'm like, yo, shut up. There's adults are talking here. It's like, I want to try again, Mom. You want to try again? Okay, shut up, Leroy Vicari. My kid's going to talk now.
No one cares if this is your first WrestleMania.
Yeah, over again. The chick's got
Who
double
cares
belts.
that I've been here several times?
Yeah, she's got double belts and getting silenced by a 3-year-old. It's like, Jesus Christ.
She's already more over than her.
Just because she's a Rollins-Lynch combination, she's already over. Oh, God.
Oh man.
All right, guys. Anything else before we wrap it up?
I feel like there was one more thing, but I can't.
I do have one. Dave, you think about it. I have one quick thing to add on there. Samantha Irvin left to pursue her music career, and she's already failed miserably because that one song that I heard might be the worst thing I've ever heard come out of any person's mouth ever in the history of music. It is the dumbest, worst song I've ever heard, and she tries to make it good by over sexualizing the video. I'm sorry, Samantha. It's you're done. You jumped the shark. You jumped the horse. You jumped Ricochet. You're just done.
I mean, Alicia Taylor's already better ring announcer than Samantha Irvin ever was. So,
dude, that song is so bad, so bad.
What did you say, Mello? I didn't hear what you said.
Alicia Taylor is already a better ring announcer than Samantha Irvin ever was.
Oh, I wouldn't. I honestly, I thought that they would miss her more, and then Alicia Taylor came around, and I'm like, oh, this is fine. this is going to work out great. Didn't even skip a beat. Didn't even notice she was gone. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Do you think it's interesting? So supposedly she left because she wanted a chance at a bigger role, possibly as like a manager or in-ring person, in-ring wrestler or something along those lines, and they basically shot her down on it. There have been a lot of reports that Kathy Taylor? No, I'm confused. Kathy Kelly, thank you. That Kathy Kelly has been training at the Performance Center for some sort of manager or in-ring role.
Really?
The reports, rumors, sources say.
Sources
say. I found that very interesting because it kind of makes me think that maybe Samantha cut some promos for them and they're like, yeah, you just don't have it. No thanks.
Yeah, you can announce, but you can't sing. Shorty can't sing.
It could be that, or maybe when they saw Samantha leave, they're like, shoot, we got to make sure we don't mess up with anyone else. And Kathy Kelly probably approached them and they're like, okay, yeah, we'll give you a shot.
I don't know. At the rate that Samantha's going, she might be asking for a job back here pretty soon. So
they'll throw her on AEW TV.
They will not, because they're good with Justin Roberts, the GOAT.
They'll throw her on AEW eventually.
Yeah. She will be on AEW within 6 months.
Well, who knows? Maybe they'll have her manage Ricochet, and actually she'll get to do it. And then
that'll work out. That'll work out great. Have you ever noticed that all of the husband and wife managing combos never work out?
Macho Man and Elizabeth worked out for quite a few years.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of her, and then she married Lex Luger and died.
Wow. Whoa. Those are all alleged sources.
First of all, when he wants dinner, you give him fucking dinner, okay? I don't want to hear no arguments. That's number one. Number two, he never let you beat her. Might have thrown around a little bit, in the pool or something like that, but never really actually beat her. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you about real quick. I'll try to make a quick game before I pass out. The Peacock special about WrestleMania 9. Have you guys not watched this yet?
I have not.
I have not.
Because you want me to spoil it for you? You guys want to give it a shot first?
No, go ahead.
Is it gonna be something about Brett?
Brett's magical as usual on there. But no, this is Hulk Hogan and the famous black eye. So Hulk Hogan, comes out and says, in the beginning somewhere when they're showing what's coming up, talks about how, oh yeah, everyone says Macho Man gave me the black eye, but I really got into a jet ski accident. That's all it was. No big deal. End of story. Oh, okay. You fast forward now to WrestleMania 9. He doesn't show up. He's there late. Shows up. The doctors aren't going to let him wrestle because he says it's the eye's too bad. You can't see. You can barely see out of it. You can't wrestle. One of the fucking Ted DiBiase punches you in your eye, you might go blind. So he goes, oh, well, we have an event. Well, I'm going to go into the doctor and say, Doc, this is all part of a storyline that the Macho Man punched me in the face and did this to me. And this is all makeup and fake. We're going to let you in on the story, but just don't tell nobody. And the doctor's like, oh, okay, I'm a fucking dumbass. I'll sign that paper. Go ahead, go wrestle. Right. Here we go again. Now the story that never, ever happened in a million years, which is Macho Man punched him in his fucking eye. Now it's a gimmick. Now it's a made-up storyline so he could wrestle at WrestleMania 9 and steal the belt from fucking Bret Hart. It's like, Hogan, I love you, but you're making it harder and harder every year. Stop talking, please.
Just
I recommend watching
it.
So did Bret agree with this, or was Bret like, no, he got punched in the face?
Bret, no one's ever really said it. But, I mean, people are like, yeah, I don't know about this jet ski thing. I don't know. But the only one that backs him up is fucking Brutus Beefcake, obviously.
Boys for life.
That's right. Bend over buddies for life. Even they're not together, right? Even they don't talk anymore.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So, yeah. So the story that never happened all of a sudden now is part of a storyline gimmick so Hogan could wrestle at 9.
Wow.
All that means to me is Macho Man punched him right in his fucking face, and the story got out, and now he has to try to figure out how to hide it.
And he blinded him that bad? What? Like, how bad did he punch him? That he actually blinded Hulk Hogan? That he
beat him. He beat him.
That the doctor's like, yeah, you probably shouldn't be wrestling. I'm not clearing you.
Yeah. I can't clear you. Oh, no, Doc, it's makeup. It's part of a storyline that Macho Man, who, by the way, who was announcing then, had nothing to do with Hogan, but for some reason, that's the story. Why would you're supposed to, no, maybe Ted DiBiase punched you in the face with the belt, or Mike Rotundo hit you with his fucking tax auditing machine or whatever. That makes more sense. Why would the Macho Man? Why would the Macho Man not even? Yeah. It's like, if you didn't pay your taxes, boom, hits him in the fucking face, and got a broken eye. It makes more sense. It makes more sense for DiBiase to hit him, or Virgil. It makes no sense for there's a storyline for Macho Man, who by the way hasn't wrestled in weeks. He's an announcer now. It's got nothing to do with the wrestling here.
Like, what's the first name I could think of? Well, let me just say the truth and say it's a lie.
Yeah. How can I cover up the truth? With a lie. With a big juicy lie.
How can I cover up the truth? Oh man,
that's great. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
It's pretty entertaining. It's got a lot of funny stuff.
Thoughts on the new WWE show? The I forgot the name of it, but the Writers' Room show where they're
the Netflix one, right? That's I think what I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, Tim.
What about it?
What are your thoughts on? Have you seen the previews for it?
Yeah. Well, behind the scenes of like
everything.
I'm actually for it. I mean, I know kayfabe is dead. It can't happen no more. I mean, what little kayfabe we have left, people ruin it every day on the internet. So, and I am one of those people. I used to watch Divas because I like to see how the backstage life worked. So I'd watch Divas and all those shows to get and plus I did like Divas after a while. I'm not gonna lie.
I was about to say, I'm sure that was the only reason you watched it.
No, I got into Divas and the Bells, both of those shows because of that stupid shit. But I really started watching because I like to see how everything works. And even all those other documentaries they had, I like seeing how they prepare for the day and prepare for the year and all that crap. So I'm all for it. I think it's gonna be cool.
I'm excited about it. I thought it looks interesting, and I agree with Tim. I like seeing the behind the scenes stuff. Like I know, breaking kayfabe, but like Tim said, in today's world, there's very little of it left, and I mean, Dave still believes that Punk and Rollins hate each other, so I think we're doing okay.
Let Tony Khan have pulled this idea off, and how many people? Oh my God, he's killing.
Well, they don't have a writer's room, so he can't do it.
That's true. The writer's room is Tony Khan with a bunch of crayons on the wall going, hey, we'll do this, and we'll do this, and we'll do this.
It's Tony like Khan with a board with a bunch of webs on it and a mound of cocaine. That's the whole show.
He's like Charlie from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Always Sunny.
Yeah.
That's him. There's cocaine everywhere. Oh.
You have to have a writer's room to have a show about a writer's room.
He literally throws a dart at a name. John Moxley again.
How does it keep landing on John?
Why do all my throws seem to hook towards Moxley? Why is that?
And then they show the board, and it's one giant picture of Moxley, and then a bunch of little pictures on the side.
So, no, I'm digging it. I'm looking forward to it. I love all that behind the scenes shit. I like following the wrestlers around for like that 365 show they had with the year.
Yep.
I love all that shit.
Yeah.
Making a WrestleMania, I just dig all of it to see how it goes. The Undertaker thing was, see how they all did his shit. I love it.
Yeah, that was great.
I agree.
Too.
I agree completely.
Have you been watching the LFG?
Dude, since I moved, I have no fucking cable. I haven't seen anything. I don't know how you guys non-cable people live. I'm ready to blow my brains out.
Through sources.
Yeah, exactly. Well, somebody better hook me up with some sources because I'm getting ready to kill myself. Where can I watch A&E?
I'll give you a source a little later that I use sometimes to watch television.
Okay, good, because I'm going nuts. Because it's like, oh, you can watch this show on Hulu. Okay, cool. Put Hulu on. If you only had the right plan. It's like,
yes. I forgot. I think it's for like the Stephanie's Places thing. I thought, I could watch it because I like Disney Plus is now with the Hulu. I was like, I should be able to watch it. And come to find out, can't watch that.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen any of Stephanie's Places. So I don't know.
I have not seen Dark Side of the Ring. I have not seen LFG since like episode 4, and I haven't seen none of the other shows. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah, I haven't seen LFG. I was just wondering because I know you said you had started it, and I want to know what you thought about it because from what I've seen, I'm like, man, I really can't stand Bubba Ray.
Well, that guy that he's going against, BJ Ray, is a real dick. He was on the previous reality show they had for WWE, and he actually made it to the training, so he's there again, but he's on the Bubba Ray's team, and yeah, he's a monster of a dick. But yeah, I'm dying to watch that show. I'm just gonna be pissed that it's gonna be over, and I'll finally be able to watch it.
You'll be able to at least binge it.
I have said no Dark Side of the Ring. I haven't seen anything.
I forgot Dark Side started again.
Yeah. Vice is not an easy channel to find.
No.
So for the Stephanie's Places, I've watched the CM Punk one, the Cody Rhodes one, and the Rhea Ripley one. The other two that have come out, the other two that have come out I have not watched yet, which was Stone Cold came out last week, and the Evolution of Charlotte Flair came out today. I have not watched either of those.
Gotta watch that one first.
Roman Reigns in the Bloodline is next week, and then we get Pat McAfee, The Undertaker, Triple H, and then John Cena.
And that's what Stephanie's Places?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the Punk and Cody ones were actually pretty good. The Rhea Ripley one wasn't bad. The Stone Cold one is, according to this, the lowest rated so far, but I haven't watched it, so I will not form an opinion. And then the Charlotte Flair one, I may not watch it all.
Come on.
I'll probably still watch it because the show's actually not bad. And they're quick. They're like 30-minute episodes, so you just burn through them. I might actually go watch those two I missed.
30 minutes if you have the no ads. If not, you get like 17 ads from Disney.
I have Premiere, so I don't have ads. I have the triple bundle with no ads. I love it. But now, granted, I have to have, two reasons. One, I have children, so Disney Plus automatically has to be on there. Plus, I get all my Marvel and Star Wars shit. But then with the triple bundle, I also get ESPN Plus, which that's the kicker right there because I get all my sports. I mean, I get to watch basically every hockey game throughout the whole season, and then I get a ton of NBA stuff, a bunch of extra coverage on stuff. I enjoy it. You got to watch it. Which one?
I wanted to talk about the Charlotte one.
Oh, the Charlotte one? Maybe. I will watch it. I said I wasn't going to. I will watch it.
But yeah, finishing watching Daredevil took me a minute because it was like, all right, I got to sit through 90 seconds of a commercial and then another 90 seconds.
You finished it?
I did finish it.
Tim, you haven't watched it yet, have you?
I finished it.
You did finish it. Was I right about the scene? I said it was the most gruesome scene we've seen in a Marvel anything.
Yeah, I was not expecting that from Kingpin.
I mean, for me, it was about fucking time. I was like, let's go already.
I will watch it, A and B. I will check. I watched them all so far, so I will watch it.
Yeah, I was like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And then just
at first I thought he was gonna like pop it, and then he just kind of did what he did, and I was like, what the fuck?
Was not expecting that, but it was a good surprise.
And the fight scene with them in the apartment, fucking phenomenal. Oh my god.
So is there something between Frank and Karen?
It's heavily implied, yes. Heavily implied.
You didn't watch the Netflix series?
Which one? Punisher?
Daredevil.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, they had a little thing going on back then.
But then, like, the way it comes back, like, it's like Karen and
well, it seems like they kept in touch.
So, yeah.
It sounds like she made a couple trips back to New York without Matt knowing.
You mean he couldn't hear her heartbeat from the airport? I know that beat. She's here.
I didn't know that was a season finale until like 2 days after. I was like, "What do you mean done? It's done. How could it be done?"
Well, because they're planning on doing like they're planning on doing one every year for this show. So,
I sure as hell hope. I know they're filming the second one. Right? I saw the new suit, so that's awesome.
They are filming the second one already.
Hopefully, it has a little bit. Like, I felt like it was kind of slow, but then when it picked up, it was good. How do you feel about them automatically killing basically 2 characters that they could have continued using?
Who are we referring to?
Muse and what's his name?
Foggy?
No, not Foggy. Because
Foggy will be back.
We don't know if Foggy's dead.
Foggy's not dead.
The Hispanic guy.
Oh, so White Tiger. Remember, White Tiger was like the whole family was White Tiger at some point in time. So I think that's what the niece is for.
Okay.
And the niece is going to be the White Tiger. I was actually disappointed they killed him so fast because I actually thought his character was fascinating.
But no offense, I don't want to see a C-level fucking fighters.
Tim's right. You talking about White Tiger or Muse?
White Tiger. I don't want to see a bunch of these guys running around. You don't need it. We got Daredevil, we got Punisher, and we do have Spider-Man running around that city somewhere. We don't need all these other guys.
I need Spider-Man to show up on that show.
I was wondering. I was like, man, are they gonna do it? Since Fisk mentioned, like, Spider-Man, sort of.
Well, they said that the theme song is in the last episode. I have to go back and watch it. They said that the Spider-Man theme song is in the last episode, and that was done intentionally. Was the director's words.
I'll have to go back and look at that.
There's been a lot of rumors that Sony is getting ready to sell off their Spider-Man rights now that they've completely given up hope on the alternate Spider-Man stuff.
Why would they do that? They've done such a great job with everything. Come on, Madam Web, that was
Madam Marvel.
Top notch.
They've done a great job with everything that Disney has controlled. I agree. Once upon a time, they could make Spider-Man movies. They were good at it.
When they're messing up,
Spider-Man, the first 2 Tobey movies are Spider-Man 2 is still one of the greatest comic book movies ever.
I like.
Watch your mouth. You like 3 more?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, what I was gonna say was when they're starting to mess up the only thing good for them, that's when you know they're in trouble. Because how have we still keep getting this delay and Into the Spider-Verse?
Oh, dude, don't get me started on that. I'm so mad that that's just not coming out till 2027.
Like, it's insane. Weren't we supposed to get it this year?
I think we're supposed. Yeah, because the other one came out last year. Yeah, we're supposed to get it. It was supposed to come out this month or May. It's supposed to come out in May.
And insane.
Don't get me started. I'm so pissed off about that.
If you can't make Sydney Sweeney running around like in a Catholic school shirt, whatever outfit work, you shouldn't be making movies at all. You dress her up in a superhero costume, you're out. You failed. Move on.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Just sell it back to Disney and move on. Oh, early Thunderbolts reviews are through the roof.
I've heard.
Through the roof.
I have heard.
Calling it a top 5 Marvel movie ever.
That's a lot, but yeah.
And it wasn't like one or two like offbeat sources. Like everyone that's seeing it is raving about it. Can't wait.
Next week, and then this week we have Revenge of the Sith.
Yes. Yeah. I unfortunately will not be making that because I'm on vacation next week. So
darn.
I can't spend $200 to go to the movie theaters this week.
200.
I have fucking 3 kids, man. It's expensive. All right.
You lost to me. But I guess final words, Ant, before we go here. I know you mentioned in the chat this was, I guess, the first WrestleMania you watched with your daughters.
My oldest. The little ones actually, they actually hung in more than I thought they would. They were like really getting into it. I was shocked.
So how was that feeling for you?
My mom, I told you guys my favorite part in the chat when Rhea came out dressed as the oh my god,
the Killing Joke.
Yeah, movie? Yeah. As when she came out and my daughter like caught the reference, I'm like, this is it. Parenting, doing something right. So
man. That is good to hear. I don't know if we've lost Timmy again. He seems a little frozen. But if not, what are our parting words, Ant?
My parting words are in Triple H's Hall of Fame speech. He mentioned a number of different wrestlers and people he's worked with over his long career in wrestling. Not one single time did he mention Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Jeez. That is very, very true.
Just throwing that out there.
That is very, very true. I forgot about that. And then the way the weekend has panned out kind of gives us some look into it where maybe some of these sources know what they're talking about.
I forgot to bring it up before. Did anyone catch any of the summaries from the roast?
No, I just know something happened between Fluffy and Heyman, and it wasn't it that Nia was like talking crap about Charlotte and someone else.
Yeah, apparently the Nia Charlotte stuff got pretty grim.
But I don't know anything else.
I'll see if I can find it. It's obviously not. There's no video, but there's some recounts of what happened, and they all seem to say the same thing. So I'll find it and I'll send it.
Beautiful,
sweet.
Send me last words.
My last words are: I'm going to fucking bed. Tomorrow night, big night, the greatest night in the history of our sport. The NFL season begins, and I am legitimately happy that I have no fucking clue what the Giants are going to do. I just hope it's a good. And I know I keep going in and out. My Wi-Fi just went to shit all of a sudden.
It's 11:30. Well, you're not in a maintenance window yet. They shouldn't be working on it yet. Who's your service provider?
2:00 tomorrow. I'll be seeing Revenge of the Sith on the big screen, which will make me very, very happy. Which will lead into the draft, which will make me very, very happy.
Oh man, you got quite the day
tomorrow.
Very,
very happy day.
He's really going to be Jey Uso tomorrow.
I am. Fire. Internet, what? You took too loud.
Yeet.
Too loud. Yeet.
Calm down, Oos.
Oos. I'm down. Yeet. That's how I'm going to end it like that. Yeet. Well, I have a new prop tomorrow for the draft. Last year was the glasses and the big super chain. I got something good for tomorrow.
I don't think I'm gonna wear my Tua jersey tomorrow.
You're gonna wear the Zach Wilson one, right?
It hasn't come yet. Fanatics takes forever to ship stuff.
All right, guys. Anybody watching? We'll see you tomorrow on Unsponsored Like God with the special NFL Draft Edition, our favorite show of the year, the most wonderful time of the year. And we will hopefully see you next week for Just Too Sweet. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. Fellas, thanks for joining me. And have yourselves a good